Hello! How are you doing, guys? Evelyn, Amber, vegan organizer. Oh, I know your name, I just can't think of it. Marika. Oh no, it's Marie K, isn't it? Nikki, Burgess, hi. Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, it's hot here today. It's 28 degrees outside and it's still getting hotter. It's expected to go up to 29 today. We don't do this, and I'm covered in mosquito bites. Sorry about that. I know it's not very pretty on camera, but I can't cover them because the itch. Huge bottle of water, iced coffee. Hi, Leslie. So today, obviously, it's the last week of June, which means it's One Book July next week for those who like to start on the Sunday, Monday and have a full week. For those who want to start on the 1st, you've still got another week. And for those of you who prefer to start on the first full week of July, you've got 10 days. That's how it works. Simple. Hey, Pat. The heat is unnecessary. It is, yeah. It's ridiculous. But I guess it's nice. It's better than the rain and thunder we had for an entire week last week. Maddie likes the sun, so we're all right with that. Yes, so the first part of this session is going to be One Book July, the general intro. And then the second half is going to be my One Book July, my intro. Because at the moment I'm like, about what I'm going to do. So I need some input. I don't know what to do. All right. One Book July 2020. Normally when the girls and I get together for One Book July, our first question is, what are we going to do? What trend is there in the community? What is happening that people are talking about? That's how we got started. Because everybody was on the whole planner peace thing. I can't find planner peace was the universal chorus of 2013. And Carrie, Vicky and myself, the original three, were like, planner peace is a myth. But, you know, if people really believe it's out there, let's help them try and find it. And that's how One Book July started. Go back to basics, one book, one pen for the whole of July. And as you find out that, oh, hang on a minute, no, I need to have more than one pen because I definitely need to have 3 colour coding. I definitely need to add a highlighter to this. I definitely can't live without my planner stickers, you know, all that kind of stuff. You added that in as you went and figured out the system of planning that you needed to use. Because once you know the system, and you've heard Carrie and Vicky say this many times, and myself, once you have a system, you can put the system into anything. Which booklet, which system, which brand, which company, which type of book, which paper, none of that matters. What matters is that you understand what you need to organise yourself. And as the challenge has gone along, because I'm not that much of a planner really, I still just, I call it a bullet journal, but it really is just it's just lists of things to do. It's just more organised now. I'm really much more of a journaler, more of a creative person. So sort of partway through the challenge, we've added in the creative side, and then we realised that people were getting into digital, so we've added that in as well. So the 4th member of the team that everybody forgets, because she wasn't an original, is Michelle from Everyday Awesome TV. I don't think it helps that she uses her Michelle persona for her personal stuff, and then she has a completely different handle for everything else. The rest of us just have one. I think that makes it a little bit tricky for people to follow what's going on. But yeah, Michelle from Everyday Awesome TV, she's doing our digital planning side, because she is much more of a digital guru. She owns all the tech. She knows how all the tech works. She knows how to get it all together. And I believe she still owns a shop where she sells digital planning things. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that. She used to. I'm sure she still does it. Anyway, off topic. Reel it back in. This year, yes, planning from a journaler's perspective, yes, or from a creative person's perspective, because not everybody needs to plan like projects and things. Some of us just need to plan, well, I suppose it is still projects, but it's creatively. We need that extra oomph to be able to plan correctly for us. This year's question was, are we even going to be able to do One Book July this year, given that this episode of Planet Earth has been completely unrealistic and we have no idea what's going on? What happened to the murder hornets? That's what I want to know. Were they integral to the story? Who knows? Are they coming back in the final episode? I don't know. Yeah, you've been almost exclusively in one book since COVID started, because of, aside from your sketchbook. Yeah, because what has there been to plan? I mean, the people who have still been working have been so busy and so overwhelmed with how much they have to do, because the people who were still working were essential workers and frontliners. Murder hornets are a plot hole. Yeah. Currently a plot hole. But you never know, they might come back. There might be a purpose. They might have something to do with something somewhere. We'll see them in December, yeah. At one point last month, I was like, look, this is just it's been a year already and it's only June. So, I don't know. How about we just put up the tree and say we're done? Call it a year, move on. Murder hornets will come back in December when all the bugs are supposed to be dead. Oh, God. Oh, anyway. Come on. One Book July. Let's get this done. Yes, we weren't sure if we could even do it this year. And when we decided that actually a little bit of normalcy might be just what everybody needs, because everything is so off kilter, and, you know, we talk about getting back to normal. We don't really mean normal. We mean getting back to our regular routines, our daily life. But I think we can all agree that no matter what side of any fence you sit on, or what side of any argument you sit on, or what side of any issue you sit on, normal is gone as we knew it. We have to find a new normal and start again. And we're in the middle of crises at the moment. You can't find a new normal when you're in the middle of a crisis. So everything's still up in the air. Everything is still up in the air. And it's unsettling. And even for those who've been through the unsettled part and dealt with our anxiety, and are now feeling a little bit more like, okay, I can handle this, which is about where I am now thinking, hang on a minute, what happens when a lot of this dies down and goes away or is resolved, and then you have a gap, right? Then there's a gap. What's going to fill the gap? Along with what else is going to go wrong this year. So we decided that a little bit of normal, a little bit of what we expect, wouldn't go amiss. So One Book July it is. One Book July is going ahead. However, it became very clear very early on that none of us wanted to do our usual hashing out of, oh, should we do this? Should we do that? What if we did this? None of us had the energy. None of us cared. We just wanted to do it and enjoy the normal for a moment. But we didn't really want to have to think about it. So this year's One Book July is One Book July Pick and Mix. Say what? Now, every year we do one thing and we tell you guys, this is the one thing we're doing. If you want to join us, you do that. And if you don't, that's fine. Pick a challenge from a previous year, pick a challenge from a different year and go with that. It's totally fine. Some people are doing their very first One Book July every year. And, well, not every year. That's stupid. But every year there's somebody doing their first One Book July. That's the better way of putting it. So obviously challenge 1 is the one to start with, not the one that we're doing this year. But we've never done it where the 4 of us have all done something different. So that's what we're doing this year, because we all had an idea of what we wanted to do, and it was all so diverse. Sorry about the weird noises in the background. Maddie's sucking her bone. It's so gross. She only does it when I'm talking. It's like she's reminding me she's here. Yeah, this year we all had very clear ideas on what we thought we might want to do, but they were so diverse, I said, okay, let's do pick and mix. Let's all do our own thing. So not only you guys do whatever you choose to do, but we're doing 4 different topics. Yay. Last year, we did the bullet journal method, the book, because the book had just come out. It was a big thing in the planner community, an awful lot of aha moments as people realised that the pretty planning that they'd been looking at isn't... Maddie's doing one bone July. Maddie's been doing one bone decade, okay? This is the same... I call it zombie bone because every time I think it's dead, she resurrects it. She digs it up again. Yeah, last year we did one bullet journal July, which was following Ryder Carroll's book, because so many people had realised that what they thought bullet journaling was, which was the pretty planning type stuff, which is gorgeous and beautiful, but it's not what is in the book. And a lot of people realised that when they read the book and went, oh, I thought I couldn't bullet journal, but I can. Miss Vicky B wanted to revisit that. One BuJo, one year on. Where are you now? Are you still doing it? What's happening? And all that stuff. So she's going to do... Everybody's doing a major and a minor topic. Okay? So her major topic is One Book July, one bullet journal, 1 year on. What's happening now? Where are you now? Okay? That's my minor, because I'm still bullet journaling, but slightly differently. Vicky's still bullet journaling. My major is going to be one project July, and it'll be a creative project, but I haven't quite decided what yet. I thought I knew, and then now I don't. So we'll talk about that later, but mine's going to be a creative project. Carrie last year did a read along of not one bullet journal, of the bullet journal method, and a lot of people asked her to do a read along again. So she's doing a read along this year. The book that she's using is The One Thing by, 2 seconds ago I knew their names, Gary Keller and... The name sounds like Pastriani or something. Oh, did I write it down? I should have written it down somewhere. Did I write it down? I don't know. Where are my One Book July notes? See, this is one of my problems. I don't know where my One Book July notes are. This is... Yeah. I'll talk to you about mine in a minute. Oh, here we go. I've got it. The One Thing by Gary Keller and Joe Papazian. I was close. Pastriani, Papazian. Yeah, it wasn't that far off. So, The One Thing, Gary Keller and Joe Papazian. Jay Papazian. Oh, sorry. Thank you. That's Carrie's read along. So she's going to be reading the book every week, telling you which bits of the book they're going to read, and then she'll summarise it for you and pull out the bits that really intrigued her. That's her major project for the month. And I'm not 100% sure, but if you're not familiar with the book, because I haven't read it, but from what I gather, it's about prioritizing and how to focus on the one thing, literally. The title gives it away. So that's her major, and her minor will be her usual One Book July, because she's always in one planner. She's always in a different planner pretty much every week, but she's always only ever in one book. She's always only ever had one everyday carry that she uses. I don't think she's ever had two books. I think she might have had two books once upon a time, when she was doing a project and she had a project notebook. And I think partway through the project one, she went, no, I can't deal with this. I can't have two books. And she integrated it into one book again. So, Carrie is a dyed-in-the-wool one book person, but she changes her book virtually every day. And she switches it up and she changes it a lot, but it's the same system, which is the core of One Book July. Michelle is also going to be concentrating on the one thing, but she's going to be doing a digital version of it, because digital planning and analog planning require slightly different things. Having tried digital planning, I realised that actually, if you're going to keep a digital planner, even if it's a handwritten digital planner in, GoodNotes or whatever, then it's still going to require some backup. You still have to have something to scribble notes on when you don't have your tablet with you. You still need to have a calendar for appointments and things like that. So she's going to concentrate on the themes that Carrie pulls out of the one thing to integrate into digital planning. And that coincides with the fact that she wants to change her own digital setup. So she's ready for a change. She's ready to get back into it. She wants to start, pretty much from scratch. And that's what she's doing. She's got an idea of what she wants to do, and off she goes. And Michelle, obviously, as a digital planner, she always has a backup. She's got like one of these, just a little traveler's notebook type thing that she backs everything up to analog for when she doesn't have her phone or she doesn't have whatever. She plans at home on a tablet, but when she's out and about, she uses her phone for things. And then she's also got her analog backup for, because electrics die. I think that covers everything. Oh, Miss Vicky B's minor project, I didn't mention that. Her major project is obviously bullet journal 1 year on, but her minor project is going to be going through the creative stuff that she normally does, because she always does that as a secondary every year, all the different, how she's journaling, how she's recording the kids' medical stuff and changes that they're going through and things like that. She always does that kind of stuff anyway, so that will be her minor. All right, so I'll run you through just quickly the list one more time so you know who you need to follow. Carrie, at Carrie Harling over on Instagram. She is doing a read-along of The One Thing by Keller and Papazian. And she'll also be showing you her regular planner and updating you on that. Michelle, Everyday Awesome TV on YouTube and Instagram. Well, Carrie's on YouTube as well, but I think most of you are following her already. Michelle at Everyday Awesome TV, she's doing digital planning using the framework of The One Thing from Carrie's Read Along and showing you how she backs it up analog. Miss Vicky B is doing bullet journal 1 year on, Where Are We Now, as her main thing. And she's also be showing you her creative projects that she's working on. And I will be doing One Project July, and I'll be doing specifically a creative project. And my minor thing along the side will be my bullet journal, where am I now 1 year on? Okay? So it really is a mix of, you can, not only can you do anything you want, but we're all doing different things this year because nobody needs that kind of stress. Am I right? I'm right. It's just too much to try and, it's hard enough to organise 4 people to do the same thing normally. I think we can all agree that 2020 is not a normal year, and it's just not going to happen. It just was not going to happen. So you can pick and mix what you are interested in, what you do. What you do might be different to what any of us does, but you might decide that Carrie's read-along sounds interesting. You know, you might be like, I think Evelyn is still plodding along with her bullet journal, isn't she? I'm still doing mine, albeit in a slightly different way. I've actually got it here because I pulled it out again. I was in my bullet journal right up until the end of last year. And then I got this for my birthday from Val at Lovebug Crafts. Yes. And I love this little thing. This is such a comfortable little thing to carry around with you. It's like a safety blanket. And it's the same size as my phone. So I slip my phone into here under the string, and that's what I take with me. And I've got a little hook on my phone, so I tend to just loop my fingers through it like that. So I've got it, it's all secure. That's been my everyday carry for 3 months at the beginning of the year, and then all hell broke loose. And I haven't left the house since March, except for, I think 3 times now I've been to the corner shop up the road because I was desperate for something that I'd run out of, and I wasn't getting a food delivery for another week. Like literally, that's it. I haven't been out of the house other than that. I'm on this 12-week lockdown thing because, which I think ends next week. Doesn't it end on the 4th of July? I'm not going to be rushing out of the house going, yeah, I'm free. I think it might be a little bit early. I don't know. I'm on the fence. I would rather play it safe than sorry, so I probably won't be going out loads. But I do intend to get the car started and, you know, be able to take the dogs out for walks again, and, you know, all the stuff that people were doing during stay at home, I will start doing once I'm not staying at home completely all the time. Does that make sense? Anyway. Yes, this was my everyday carry. Now, I love this little thing. You won't be rushing out either. Yeah, I don't think... It's not that I disagree with how they're doing it or anything like that. I know nothing about it. The experts are in charge, and I'm, you know, by all means, everybody questions government and etc., etc. But all the healthcare professionals I've spoken to who are out on the front lines, the nurses, I know a radiologist, I know a surgeon, they're all saying we have to come out of lockdown sometime, but it still feels a little too early. They're all very concerned. And I don't think it helps if everybody suddenly rushes out, does it? You know, that kind of defeats the object of staying at home for 3 months. So you're staying at home until you see the outcome of everybody else going out. Yeah, I kind of want to do the same. I want to give it a week or 2, see what the R number is, see what the experts are saying. You know, we might have a week of, okay, you can go out and we're down to 1 metre and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it skyrockets again like it did in Germany. And they turn around and say, well, we've got to go back into lockdown. And I don't want to have that kind of trauma. My brain's dealt with enough over the last few months. I don't want to have that kind of thing, to be honest. You're staying close to home. Yeah, I just want to be able to get in the car and take the dogs out for a walk, or, you know, go and get go drive through coffee because Costa's open again. It's not, that's the routines that I miss, being able to take the dogs out to places that are not just the park across the road. And being able to just say, oh, I need to get out of the house for 5 minutes. I'm going to go get a coffee. Pack up the dogs in the car. We go to McDonald's, or we go get lunch, or we go to Costa and we get a drive-through coffee. You know, just being able to do that would be nice. I'm not in any rush to be like, oh, I must go into town and shop. That's what Amazon's for. Anyway, with that in mind, and there is a point to this, obviously I don't really need an everyday carry, because I'm not just, you know, I am the kind of person who, I finish something for work, you know, and because my job involves sitting on my backside for 2 to 3 hours at a time, as soon as I finish that particular thing, you know, I finish streaming, I get up and I move about. And my immediate reaction is to get up and move about and go out somewhere. Because when you work from home, the danger is that you start to get cabin fever. Fortunately, this is all happening in nice weather. So for the most part, apart from last week, I've been able to just go and sit in the garden whenever I needed to, and get some air. But I'm not going out, so I don't need this. I've started using it again. I've started putting things in it again. But then I realised that actually I'm just not going to be using it. I haven't been using it. I'm kind of adding it in as an extra. So I think this little honey chunky thing is going to have to just go there until I start actually leaving the house again. Just to show you what this is just it's an amalgamation of all my little, all my books put together, really. So I've got a planner. I put my cards in here. It's usually in my phone, but I put whatever card I need to take with me in here, so it functions as a wallet as well. This is my planner. As you can see, it's just still bullet journal. I've got a bit of Bun FOMO at the moment. She was showing her her way of doing things, and I've been splitting my stuff up in a similar way, and then she's got watercolour on hers, and I was like, oh, I fancy a bit of colour, so I went rogue with the watercolour for a while. But I'm not really using this. This is like, I'm using my bullet journal, but then I'm writing it in here as well, so it's a bit redundant because I don't really need to have it in here because I'm not going anywhere. So I probably won't use this for June. I'll conserve the paper. I've got a little pocket full of bits and pieces. Got some washi tape cards, some stickers, some post-it notes, you know, just the regular stuff. This is my little collage journal that I've been playing with. So some of it's written stuff, some of it's witchy stuff, some of it is just pictures. Coming out of January. Oh my God, we thought January was long. And then we met March. January, I miss you. Yeah, just inspirational pictures or quotes or collages, or, you know, this is a bit more kind of painterly, pictures that go together, more of a kind of fantasy collage type thing. It's just, you know, bits and pieces of stuff that I feel like putting down on a page at the time. You know, I'm into collaging. Sorry, I just realised I moved the camera and I've been holding it where the camera isn't. Sorry about that. So yeah, this is, and I've got some, oh, I've got more in here than I thought. So some of these are part done, some of them are not done, some of them are done. I tend to come in here and use oddments of paint when I've got bits of paint or ink or whatever, or if I've got my colour pencils out, or if I just want to doodle. This one was going to be, is it Halloween yet? Oh, you know, this just happened to be a series of pieces that were on the desk together, and they actually were almost like this on the desk, and I thought, oh, that looks quite good, it all goes together, so I threw it on the page. That's it. That's what I do with this. It's just a creative outlet. And then this one is more of a journal, but honestly, I really haven't been journaling a lot, like recording journaling. You know, there's those people who are like, I absolutely must record all of this because it's an historical event, la 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 la. And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to live through it. I don't want to write about it right now. So, yeah, my journal has been a bit hit and miss. I did like a page in May and a page in... I've basically been doing 2 pages a month. I was planning on restarting in June, and as you can see, I did a bit, which was more of an update of what happened in May and where we're up to with lockdown and how we're still in it. Some pictures of the dogs as usual, and then I was going to update, and I'm just like, what even is the point? What even is the point at the moment? That's where my brain is at the moment. So this little baby that I love so much, I absolutely will be going back to this the minute I can start leaving the house properly, or as soon as I start going out. You know, I will take this with me when I take the dogs out and jot things down or do little sketches or whatever. Absolutely, I will take this with me. This is going to continue to be my everyday carry/wallet, because I absolutely love it. It's just, I don't know. I think it's the cover. I think it's this touchy-feely cover. I wish I could get a larger version in this leather, but I've looked everywhere for one and I can't find one. I can only find the plain ones. But yeah, I mean, I don't publicise it particularly because, you know, I don't struggle with anxiety. I take my meds, you know. But this has been very trying, and I'm coping with enough just trying to get through it without having to relive it in a documented way as well. I would like to document it at some point, and I have been keeping bits and pieces, you know, the interesting bits of history, like the handout we had about COVID from the government, you know, the letter from the Prime Minister saying please stay at home for 3 months. My text message I got saying you are classed as a vulnerable person, please stay at home until the 1st of July. You know, I printed that out. You know, that's all in a little thing, in a little carry case, and at some point I will document it all. But now is not the time to do it for me. You have the standard in this pattern. Where did you find it? Because that's what I want. I want a standard size in this pattern. I absolutely love this thing. And I just love the you can see how much patina it's got. That's how much I touch it. The spine shows you what it looked like originally. Okay. Look at the difference. That's how much use it gets because I'm constantly touching it. Oh, you'll have to link me up, Risha. Link me up over on Instagram. I will need to go and find one because I love this pattern. I don't need a regular size in this. I just want one. It's not often I want a notebook, but I'm getting one. So yeah, that's everyday carry. But it's everyday carry because my bullet journal and where's it gone? My sketchbook and my junk journal, just essentially the 3 notebooks I've got in there, are simply not conducive to carrying about. Even one of them is not conducive to carrying about. They're all very thick, very heavy, very chunky. This one's actually quite light because it's new. It's not got anything in it yet, but yeah, this is basically the same thing. So this is my sketchbook / journal. So this is the kind of thing. So I journal in here, I put in bits of photos, I do art, I do collages. This is an unfinished one, you know, I do urban sketching, some more journaling, classwork, urban sketching, marker tests, some more collage. Yeah, this is what I do in this book. and I love this book, but it's too heavy to lug around with me with everything else. And if I need my sketchbook and my planner, how am I going to take both of these? This is actually quite light compared to the Moleskine, which is weird because this is heavier paper. I suppose this is 400 pages, but it's double thickness paper and this is 200 pages, so that shouldn't make a difference. But yeah, this is bigger, but I'd say it's at least half the weight. And then I've got my junk journal, which I do more collages in and more, this is a new one, like I said, I haven't done anything in this one yet. More collages and painting and creative outlet type stuff. My bullet journal, now I did, like I said, I did use my bullet journal right the way up until the end of the year. Right the way up till this was all December. I even had January ready to go. And then I have, I left a few spaces because I think I need to infill between June, when I came back into this, and January, when I went over into this and started using this more. The reason I used this in January and February, and then March, and then tried to use it in April and May. The problem I've got with this, obviously, because it's so small, I pretty much go through and insert a month. And for bullet journaling, that's not practical. So that is basically on the go stuff, and this is my proper bullet journal. And I've come back into it in June, now that I am in a position to be planning stuff again, as a preemptive thing of coming back into it in for July. But again, it's not really any different to what I was doing. It's actually no different to what I was doing before. I've got my dates here with my monthly list. I've got my admin list there for work. This is astrology happenings, and this is my class list. And the only difference here is that this used to be the other way around. But it occurred to me that if I put this on this page, these numbers would be in the middle, and then it'd be a lot easier to do this side, as opposed to trying to trace it across 2 pages when they're over here. I think I had that enlightening moment previously as well, but I'd forgotten about it until I suddenly wrote it on the wrong page, and I was like, oh, actually, that works. So this is my bullet journal at the moment. You know, this is One Book July stuff. Got the random, you know, same as before. If I've got this week wasn't particularly busy because nothing's happening. 2020 is a swamp monster, but it's not even cute. Random photos, that kind of thing, which is what I was doing before. So mine really hasn't changed that much, except that I haven't been using this particular book. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to continue using this particular book because, like I say, I'm a little bit up in the air with what I want to do. So I'm doing creative projects. One of the things that I'm working on, or would like to work on, is my sketchbook. I don't spend enough time in my sketchbook. I'm very rusty. I want to do some more sketching. I want to do some junk journaling because it's Junk Journal July. For anybody who follows Meg Journals, she did Junk Journal January, and then they're doing Junk Journal July this year as well. So I would quite like to do the prompts. So that's already 2 things I want to do this month. I don't really have to worry about planning because I don't really have anything to plan. I can carry on doing what I've been doing in my bullet journal. So I don't need to revamp any of that. I just need to settle down and stay in one book for a damn week. But I've also got a couple of other creative projects on the go. So I don't know what to do. I do have a project that I can share, but I don't want to exclude people, and I don't want people to feel like they're excluded. So I thought, rather than just saying this is what I'm going to do, I would ask you guys what you think. I've been keeping a journal for Animal Crossing. And before everybody who's not playing Animal Crossing just goes and tunes out, don't worry, it's not all about the game. A lot of people are keeping an Animal Crossing journal, bullet journal, whatever, just to record what they do and, you know, keep all their there's various different recipes and stuff, like how to crossbreed flowers and you have to track turnip prices on the stalk market and stuff like that. And people are doing a bullet journal for that. Some people are doing a slightly more creative version with photos and things like that. Courtney Diaz has been doing one. But I haven't seen anyone do what I do. Which is why I thought I might share it as a creative project. But only if you guys want to see it. You know, I don't want to do this is what I'm doing and then half people are like, well, I don't play Animal Crossing, so I don't care. Because I think, because I don't journal the way other people journal, I don't think it's going to matter that it's Animal Crossing based. I think you could look at it and go, well, there's other stuff that I do that I can see how this could be what I'm, what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this, but I'm trying to do it for, I don't know, my garden or for my reading journal or, whatever. But it's very much more a creative way of planning. And it's not even planning it's more journaling, but it's also, let me show you what I mean. Now, it's a little bit out of date because I haven't done any I kind of fell off the wagon last week with the thunderstorms and everything. So I've got a lot of scribbled notes, but because it's something I don't want to feel like it's a chore, I want to sit down and enjoy doing it. The way I play as a gamer, I'm a role player. So most people sit down as themselves at a game and they have this little tune and they go off and do stuff in the game, okay? I go one step further. My character is an actual character. She's not just a little tune that represents me in the game. She is an actual character with a history and a backstory. And she's been in several other games previously. And I've got other journals that relate to other games that, because this is what I do. I'm a role player. And I didn't want to... I'm also an addicted gamer, which is why I gave it up many years ago. I got so addicted to gaming that I was literally coming home on a Friday night, booting up the game and barely moving until Monday morning when I had to go back to work. Or, well, technically Sunday night when I realised I was going to have to get some sleep. But yeah, I would game for 15, 20 hours at a time and it was not good for me. I got way too engrossed. So my character is literally a character, like, it's almost like writing your own story, if you like. So she's not me. She's got facets of me, obviously, but she's not me. I play as her. It's like acting. Think of it like acting, okay? You have a character that you play, and you take on that persona, and everything you do, you react in a way that is congruent with that persona, okay? So, for instance, my character absolutely loves purple, therefore the first flowers she tried to get were purple ones. And her diary reflects that. This is not my journal for Animal Crossing, this is her journal. So I think of it as, this is the book that she would carry around with her in game. And when she finds a new butterfly, she might draw it. And we did that at the top of the show. One Book July, that was an hour ago at the top of the show. You don't have to play the game. That's what I'm just explaining. It's not about playing the game. It's about keeping a creative journal, okay? Dory, you'll need to go back and watch the first half of the video. It's a live video. I'm not going back over what I've just done for an hour. Sorry, don't have time. That came out I'm sorry, Dory. That came out way more bitchy than I planned it to. Gosh, where did that come from? I apologise. That sounded very... That didn't sound out of my mouth how it sounded in my head. I've just done all that. You'll need to watch the beginning of the show. On replay. It'll be on replay. This is what happens when you don't talk to people for months on end. You don't know how things come out of your mouth. Anyway, yeah, so this is not, this, I think of this as the journal she would carry around with her in the game. And when she finds something that's interesting, she does it. Now, other people are doing their bullet journals like, oh, you have to breed flowers and you've got to get all the flowers. You know, everybody goes Pokemon, you've got to get all of them. And immediately they all started breeding flowers and this, that, and the other. My character, actually, sadly, I didn't do a page yesterday yet. In fact, I've missed a couple of days now. I've got notes written on a post-it note somewhere. Yeah, 19th was the last time. Ooh, got a bit of catching up to do. Must do that. I haven't looked up all the hybrids of how to grow flowers. My character gets excited because, in fact, she's very excited at the moment because she planted a whole load of pansies and a whole load of white hyacinths and a whole load of white roses all together. And she's got a blue hyacinth, and today she's got a blue pansy. So that's exciting for her because she's interested in experiments, and, you know, she's a bit of a jack of all trades. She likes to tinker. She likes to experiment. She's a kind of a pirate witch with an 8-year-old's idea of the world, but she's also a bit Jack Sparrow. She's quite underhand in how she does things, but in a very innocent way. And, you know, she's very interested, of course. So her journal will reflect, oh, hang on, I planted all these white hyacinths together and there's a blue one now. I wonder if that'll happen again. What happens if I plant all the pink ones together or all the yellow ones together? You know, that's how she'll do it, as opposed to, oh, if I do this and this and this in this pattern, then that's going to get me one of these. You know, she's not interested in that, and I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in, well, if there were levels in game, it would be called power leveling. I'm not interested in doing all the things, having a 5-star island, doing this, that, and the other today. You know, everybody's got to get a 5-star island as soon as absolutely possible. That's not my goal. My goal is to enjoy the game. And the way I slow myself down is to keep my journal while I'm playing the game. Does that make sense? So if something happens in game, because it's not a time-sensitive game. There's a couple of things that are time-sensitive, but it's not like you're in a fight to the death, you know, like you would be in World of Warcraft or something like that. It's a very relaxing, very chilled, very laid-back thing. And really, this kind of journal is really more than a nature journal. I think it's only available on Switch. Isn't Animal Crossing only available on Switch? I do play the phone game, the Pocket Camp game, just because it's a bit of fun, but it's not as involved as the actual game. But I have a Switch Lite, so unfortunately I can't stream from a Switch Lite. But that's a good thing because it means that this doesn't turn into work. This will only ever be something that I play for me when I want to play. You know. I probably could just show you bits and pieces if I can get it in the right place, like if I can get it there and hold it there. I can show you a little bit of what I do, but I'm not doing island tours and, you know, come and craft with me and all that kind of stuff like everybody else does, because I'm not treating it as being a gamer. Oh, New Leaf is on 3D. Oh, right. No, I'm playing the New Horizons version, the new one, and I got a Switch. Got a very nicely well-timed tax return in the middle of COVID and went, ooh, I'm getting a Switch. This, honestly, has kept me sane. But I don't want you to think of it as an Animal Crossing journal. I want you to think of it as a creative journal. Because, honestly, you could do this yourself just by walking around your local park. This is not anything you couldn't do for your own, even walking around your garden. Yeah? Like I say, it's not all finished or anything like that, because it's an ongoing project. So obviously, because of the way I journal, my character Taraya also journals the same way. So I don't always have time to draw a butterfly. Sometimes I just draw the shape of the butterfly in pencil, and I'll come back to it later and I'll do it properly. But I've been trying to keep it very simple. And this one, I have actually been doing one pen and some colour pencils, and that's it. When I'm playing, I tend to have a pencil, but I also have a pen with me. So this is my... She's into bugs. I hate fish. Fish make me go... but I love bugs and things. So this is a Bye Bun sticker. And this one is from... Oh, I can't remember your name. Oh, can't remember. It's years old, but I just liked it. So this is her... Obviously, you can see that this is more of a creative journal of a character rather than just me keeping a bullet journal. That will be obvious as we go through, I think. So that's property of Miss T. Kitty Gnome. Pirate, witch, explorer. I put a pocket here, but it keeps coming unstuck because she's getting annoying. And I did print out just the basic things from the game. So this is just the information about my island, my own passport for my character. There's Taraya. Feel free to add me as a friend if you want to, if you're playing. Oh, can I get it to focus? Oh, I can't see the button. Hang on. There you go. If you want to, feel free to add me as a friend. I'm not particularly social gamer, but I do sometimes open my island and just say, yeah, come on over. It's fine. Yeah, I've got the island stuff. I've got my passport. I've got my Nook ticket. My Dodo code, boarding pass, because you get that with the game as well. There's actually a website you can go to and put in your information and it prints out the information for you. And that's just a couple of journaling cards and a book card, just for, because, you know, when I stick things down, so I've got a card in there so I don't have to rummage around for one. I need to sort that pocket out. It's getting on my nerves. So... I know somebody will ask about the notebook. This is a Nuna notebook, N-U-U-N-A. It is a B5 size. Yes, Moleskine extra large, B5, same as a composition book. I've got some pages up at the front here because I want to go back and do like a map of my island and stuff, but because you have to develop your island, I don't really want to draw the island. Like, think of it as, oh, I'm redoing my garden. You wouldn't necessarily draw your garden as it is now. You might draw your garden as you would like it to be, right? But I'm not far enough into the game to be able to plan my island that far ahead. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that just yet, but I left a couple of pages so I could do... I've got a page for an index as well if I need it, but I've got a page for, you know, perhaps what the island started off as and what I would like it to be eventually. And my island will always be somewhere in between. So I started off just making notes, scribbly notes. This is the scribbly notes that I make. Now that I'm more into understanding what it is I record every day, I actually tend to write the pen stuff in here and I do the drawing later, or, you know, I put stickers in sometimes because I'm too lazy to draw it or whatever. So this, for instance, this page is set up. I've just got to transfer those bits and pieces that I wrote down, because she started off having to-do lists because different characters in the game asked her to do stuff. So as that came through, you know, Tom Nook wants you to collect this, that and the other, or Timmy wants you to collect 30 wood and 30 ore, I was writing that down. So this was the first day on the island, for example. It's not like a bullet journal, not like what I've seen other people do. That's the only way I can explain it. So she actually wrote in her journal, and I notice I always put she. It's not me doing it, it's her journal, not mine. Arrived at 6:30 local time. Island looks amazing. Was warm and sunny, so I explored, found 3 waterfalls, several stretches of beach, and helped everyone pick a spot for their tents, because that's the first quest, is to find spots for all the tents. Then we had a campfire party and stayed up late telling stories and eating peaches from the trees, which is a roundabout way of explaining, oh, my island is the 3 waterfalls one with peaches and scorpions and this, that and the other. But I didn't mention the scorpions, even though I as a gamer knew that peaches meant I had scorpions. I didn't mention the scorpion until later on, when she got bitten by one and went, there's scorpions on the island. I got bit by one. I have the New Leaf sticker book, which I got off Amazon, which has got loads of stickers and bits, and it's actually a game type. It's a kids game type book, but there's lots of like little, you know, from the games you can cut out, like that's Tom Nook, who looks like my dad. Lots of little bits and pieces that you can the Red Pirate Roberts, she calls him, because she's into pirates. She calls him the Red Pirate Roberts because, you know, everybody knows he exists, but nobody's ever seen him more than once. Right? Actually, I think he's been to my island twice. He turned up 2 days in a row, and then I haven't seen him since. I think he genuinely is random, because everybody seems to be waiting for him to turn up. So these stickers, these are the main characters, but obviously they don't have the new characters, so it doesn't have the new turnip seller, it's got the old one. It doesn't have CJ, it has CJ Jr. Or we have CJ Jr. in the book, but because I play Pocket Camp with the same character, she has knowledge of those characters, right? So this is how it works. She has, she knows CJ from Pocket Camp, from being at the campground, and he turns up for like fishing tournaments and stuff. So of course, when she met CJ Jr., she went, hang on a minute, he looks familiar. He reminds me of so-and-so. Got chatting to him, found out, oh yeah, CJ's his grandpa. So now she knows that, and because Daisy talked about her grandma, which is the boar, you know, she now knows that they're related. That grandma, who does turnip stuff in one, is now retired, and now she's moved on, and this, you know, I hope that makes sense. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain without sounding crazy, to be honest, but this is the world of a role player. Similarly, the characters that I already have in my camp over on Pocket Camp are Taraya's friends. So as part of, obviously we've all got dreamies, right? We've all got the characters that we want in our 10 characters that you have on your island. I don't have a list of my 10 characters. What I have is the characters that I know from Pocket Camp that I absolutely adore and want to keep. And then I have a few other spaces that I'll fill with new characters. And it happens that on Pocket Camp, I have it set up so that there's a band area. And the characters that I absolutely love, except for one who lives at my cabin, which is a different thing, are all at the campsite, and they all hang around this band area. So there's a story there. We'll come to that in a minute. So yeah, these bits of paper are just where I haven't written it onto pages yet, but I take screenshots on my Nintendo, on my, no, that's not the word, Switch. I have a memory card in there, and I use my old Android phone. I just put the memory card in here, upload it to Google Photos, and then I do it on my iPad in Procreate. I just put the photos in, cut them down and crop them and put them all onto a piece of paper and then print it all out on sticky paper. That's all I do. It's not proper photos or anything. It's just what I normally do for stickers for my journals. She got mail in game. from her mum. So I printed out the postcard from mum, right? Because that's what she would do. It's not, like I say, it's not me as a gamer, it's what she would do. This page has a purpose, I can't remember what it was. This is from that sticker book. It was a game where you had to put all the fruits on the tree. So this is, the island has peaches. Orville, the guy who does you get on a plane and you go to Mystery Islands to go and get resources. So she turned that around, I turned it around to her perspective. Orville says, other Mystery Islands nearby have different fruit. I'm going to go and find some to feed the residents. Which is part of the game. You go and get all the different fruits in different places and you bring them back to your island. Or you trade them with other people, right? This one, there's a lot of drawing on this one. It doesn't look like it from here, but there is a lot of drawing to go on these pages. That's all the drawing notes. Whenever you find something new, I've got examples. I'll tell you in a minute. So this is Leaf, the flower seller. This is from the book, but we don't have the same flowers in this game as is in the previous game. So some of these, like this, the Jacob's Ladder and the carnations, are not in our game. But some of them are, and we've got some extra ones. So I'm just keeping a log of what flowers until I get time to sit down and go through it. Your notification came 45 minutes in. Wow. Well, I did put it on Instagram. I did put it on my Instagram stories that I was going to go live. So sorry, but this is another one where this is where I was starting to keep it in a different journal, but I hated the paper. I just couldn't deal with this paper at all, so I just decided to swap it to this notebook. This was once I decided how I was going to be doing this. So then this is where I decided, yeah, this is definitely going to be her journal as opposed to me keeping a record of what I do. As you make discoveries in the game of new creatures or new plants or dinosaur fossils, you take them to the guy at the museum and he identifies them. And if you don't have them in his collection, he keeps them in his collection. And if he does have them, then you sell them. It's pretty simple. So every day you get different fossils, different bugs and different fish. So at the beginning of the game, this was a regular thing that you'd get 5 or 6 different ones every single day. You'd have new discoveries. Now, a month and a half in, it's fairly rare that I get a new discovery. I'm getting maybe 2 or 3 discoveries a week as opposed to 15, 16 a day, obviously. I'm making you want to play. Oh, it's totally easy. If you've ever played anything like, like the Facebook games, like Farmville and on all those kind of things, it's super easy. It's not hard to do at all. I would recommend you get the Pocket Camp game, which is free, on your phone. It's not as involved as the actual game, but round about the time you start getting bored with Pocket Camp, you'll start thinking, actually, maybe I would like to get the other game, or no, I'm happy with just playing this when I feel like it, That's what I did. I started with Pocket Camp and went from there. Anyway, so this is a man-faced stink bug. She drew the bug, but she didn't do the write-up, so there's a gap. Whereas usually what I do is this is what Blathers tells you. So when you hand over something to the guy at the museum, Blathers, he gives you information about that thing. And I write that down as he's telling me, because it pauses the game. It's not just go in, hand this over, get it assessed, take it back, donate it to the museum, done, boom, off to the next thing. That takes maybe 3 minutes. The way I do it, I go in, I show him what I've got, and every time you find something new, he says, do you want me to tell you about this? And I say, yes, tell me all about it. And you get 4 or 5 screens that tell you different things, and I write that down as I go. Which slows the game down for me. And it means that I spend maybe 5 or 6 minutes talking to Blathers when I go in, instead of your bank account thanks you. Yeah, try Pocket Camp. I always say to people, if you're not sure or you've never gamed before or you don't know, but it's intriguing, try Pocket Camp. It's a different way of playing, and it's not as in-depth or anything like that, but the transition between the two is nothing. It's just using a different handset. It's similar to, it's on a par, actually, changing from Pocket Camp on phone to Animal Crossing on Switch is on a par with just getting a new phone. You know, you have that few days where you're like, oh, where's the home button? Whoa, why isn't there a earplug thing? Oh, it's Bluetooth. How do I switch on Bluetooth? You know, you go through all that for the first couple of days and then you're like, how did I live without this thing? Yes, it is a journal about the game and my character's experience in game, not what I'm doing. I know certain things about the game, like I keep alluding to the flowers. I mean, you have certain types of flowers and you can breed them and crossbreed them. But I know that there is a whole list of how to do it and what to do it and what patterns to put them out in and so on. I also know that if I do that, I will, like so many other people, spend the next 2 weeks just growing flowers like a demon because Pokemon, gotta have them all. And that's not how I want to play. So I haven't looked it up because I don't want to know. Other people, Taraya's friends in game, tell her, like, she had a... Now, I didn't know this because I haven't looked it up. I had a whole load of black roses, spoiler alert, and one day I woke up and there was a gold one in the middle. And I was like, whoa, those roses you were watering last night, I've got a gold one in the middle of it this morning. And she said, oh yeah, if somebody else waters your flowers, they grow better and there's a better chance of them hybridizing. But also I used my golden watering can because that's what I had on me. So you got a gold rose. So I now know, or Taraya now knows, that you can get gold flowers by doing a gold watering can on certain things. So now she's thinking, well, hang on a minute, there's golden fishing rods and there's golden nets. Is that what gives you a better chance of catching the exceptionally rare stuff? She needs to go and investigate that. But I, as a gamer, although I have some knowledge, I haven't gone and looked it up to find out how to do it. I'm quite happy to take it in my own time. There's a wharf roach to go in here, which is why there's a gap. So these stickers, actually, these ones with the colour around them are from my antique sticker book. You know, the one that everybody's got now. Because there's so many stickers in there, and I was like, well, why would I want to draw a snail when there's a sticker in the book that I can just stick in? The museum open. So every day I started doing this Nook News things because Tom Nook, who's the coordinator on the island, does an announcement every morning. So I started doing it like this with a little Nook News thing. Every day, what is the new thing? Now, eventually he hands over to Isabel and the news is less... it's not every day. It's like there's a split in the game. So there's like a big intro into the game and then there's like, and now you're on your own, what do you want to do? Kind of thing. So this was the museum opening. I put a little free tag on it because it's free to go in the museum. And I took a photo of the new museum. Obviously a screenshot from my game and put it there. That's my little character. That's Taraya there. I drew a watering can and I put underneath new watering can. I needed a new watering can because after you've used your tools for a certain amount of time, they blow up. They become unusable. And you have to make another one. So rather than writing a to-do on my to-do list, make a new watering can, I drew a watering can and put that I'd got a new watering can. It's just a different way of recording things. These to-dos, wherever you see the to-dos, these are what they call Nook Miles. It's bonuses in game. And when you do those, you get rewards, basically. And this is my house loan. See? House. And I use the triangle sign for bells, which is the currency. This is going to be a map of my museum, but I haven't finished it. And then this was International Museum Day, which this was one of the events in game, where you could go to a museum and they had little stamp stations, you know, like they literally have in museums. They have little stamp stations. And you went to each section of the museum and found the stamp station and you got the stamp, and at the end you got a reward. So this was my little tickets that I got for doing the events. And I wrote the name of my museum on there. And then later on, you'll see that I've done other people's museums. So again, I've got my to-do list. Gulliver was back. He's funny. He's always drunk. I think he's drunk. I think he falls overboard because he gets drunk. He says he falls overboard because he fell asleep. It's a kid's game, so he probably did fall asleep. But as far as I'm concerned, he gets drunk on rum. I don't like fish, but I caught a rare one. So and if it's rare, it gets a shiny star. A mahi-mahi. I don't like fish, but this one is really pretty. And it was all iridescent and shiny and beautiful. I need to draw a long locust in there. I was actually looking through trying to find stickers for some of these because I don't want to draw a locust. That's far too... I like drawing bugs, but locust is a bug, but yeah. I got a new desk. This was my first official piece of furniture. Susan, hello. Long time no see. This was my first official piece of furniture. So I've been doing my photos like Polaroids. New desk. My first proper piece of furniture in my new house. A desk. It's not fancy, but it's all mine. Silly little things like that, basically. This is my house loan again. That's basically all I'm doing. And all of the colour is just colour pencil. I'm using my Arteza colour pencils. This is another one where I need to do some drawing. That's actually going to be a dinosaur. That was my first completed dinosaur. But that's a big project to get into. So I want to catch up with that. Then I've got a sticker for Leaf, but I can never find him in my book. I've got to draw a couple of butterflies. But see, drawing butterflies is something I'll sit down and do 3 or 4 times a day. Did you bury the bag of bells you dug up? Where was that? No, I didn't know about that. I found a bag of bells, and I knew what I knew as a gamer what it meant, because I've seen it before. But Taraya didn't know. So Taraya dug up a bag of bells and went, oh, that's really cool. And then she found a big glowy hole. So when her friend came to visit the island, she said, what's this big glowy hole for? And her friend said, oh, bury some money in it and it'll grow a tree. And then I knew. Well, then she knew. So her friend came over and told her about that. Even though I, as a gamer, knew. I hope this makes sense. It keeps me occupied, okay? It's kept me sane during this last 3 months. So yeah, this is going to be a dinosaur. This was my first completed dinosaur. So I thought that was something to record. Some more butterflies, some more bugs. My first money tree. There we go. My first money tree. So this must have been... That was the night Sunshine came over and I found this and asked her about it. So that's got to be somewhere here about her telling me about the money tree. This was the first night I got Celeste when we had shooting stars. And this is Risha's character. Anna Risha there, her character. My friend Courtney's character. And me wishing on a star. And obviously this is Celeste for those who play. I was going to write a bit about it, but I haven't yet. All of this kind of stuff, I either write it in pencil or I've got it on sticky notes somewhere. This was a day where this particular day, it was really nice weather. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to take the day off. I'm going to go and sit in the garden and I'm going to play Animal Crossing all day. So I got a full page out of it. So I got Snapping Turtle. Does anybody else feel guilty for catching snapping turtles because they're rare species? I can't sell them. I've got snapping turtles dotted around my island because every time I find one, I either have to release it. If my bag is full, I just release it. I don't even swap it with anything. And if it's not, and I catch the thing and it ends up in my bag, then I place it somewhere. So there's snapping turtles all around my island. So like this, Celeste, you make wishes on stars and the next day you get star fragments and that they are resources for making other things. I, as a gamer, knew that. Taraya didn't. So she found pieces of star fragments all over the beach this morning. I wonder where they came from, you know? And then later, when she went to visit Hogsmeade, to Sunshine's place, she asked her about the star fragments, and now she knows what star fragments are. This is, I went to visit her, I did her, because, you know, what do we do as travellers, journalers? You know, if there was a national museum event and you went to somebody else's place and they had a museum, what would you do? You'd go back into the museum, wouldn't you? And you'd go and do the event at theirs. So I went and did her stamps at the museum. So I got an American museum. And then a couple of days later I went to Luna Bay, which is Bambi, Little Raven Inks, Courtney Diaz Island. And I went and visited her. So, of course, Australia, I had to do an Australian museum, right? The only one I didn't get was the Japanese museum, because I didn't know anybody who was in the Japan time zone, sadly. But this is what I would do if I was on holiday myself. So this is what she does. She went for a visit to somebody else's island. So what did she do? She went to the museum. She also does urban sketching when she's out and about. So, and I haven't got round to it yet. It's just Nook's Cranny, the new shop. So rather than taking a photo of the shop, I thought, for a change, I'll go and sit and draw the shop. At some point, there will be a day where I don't feel like playing, but you have to log into game to do certain things just to check in. Otherwise, because your daily check-ins build bonuses. So if I don't do that, I won't get the bonuses. So I have to check in at least. But rather than just check in and then log out again, I'll be like, oh, I'll go and sit in the museum in the bug quarter and go and draw what I see, you know, or I'll go and draw a dinosaur, or I'll go and sit somewhere on the island and draw what I can see. That's what I did the first night. I just sat down and drew what I could see. So again, Nook news, because this is still the beginning. New people coming. The big day. A balloon came over, dropping a mystery gift, and I finally got a ladder. And I could get up on those cliffs. Honeybees. Oh, this was the housing. This was for building the first 3 houses. This was the checklist. So I wrote it down here because it was what Tom Nook asked my character to do to prepare the houses. So once you've made all these things and put them down, the houses are ready to be moved into by new people. Tom ran a customization workshop. So instead of just reading his dialogue and saying, oh, he's doing a customization workshop, excellent, go over to the workbench, do the workshop, I actually drew it in my journal, like it was a sign on the door of Nook's Cranny, customization workshop, DIY session today. See, it's a slightly different way of doing things. Red, shady character, sells art, not of all of it's genuine. My first additional, you start off with 2 people on the island and then you get 3 more for the 3 houses. So Cranston and Bangle were my first 2. This is, I've got to print out a photo. I keep forgetting to measure how big I need to print the photo. This one and the Hogsmeade one, I've got these. Anything like this means it's a photo I need to print out or it's a sketch I need to do. And like I said, I do those at my leisure when I feel like doing them. Mosquitoes. As if it's not bad enough that there are mosquitoes in real life killing me. Now I get bitten in game. New neighbour Celia is a bit creepy. She reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire. She's very grandma-like and gets up at 5 a.m. every day. She's okay, but I don't think she'll be staying long term. She's not as cool about loud music as Muffy is. Muffy is my favourite grandma type character, you know, the older sister type characters. Celia is okay and she will do until I find Muffy, and then Celia's moving out and Muffy's moving in, because Muffy is a bit of a rebel. My friend keeps telling her that Muffy reminds her of me. Not sure how to take that, but you're doing lots of walking. This gives you an idea about maps to see what you could do on those walks. Yes, exactly. This is exactly the same thing. You could plan out a route that you want to take. You know, what kind of things can you see? Do a little bit of urban sketching. Make a note. You know, did you see lots of butterflies? Did you see lots of bees? Did you find lots of wild flowers? You know, or is it like all grass or whatever? It's basically a nature journal because she's focused on bugs and bees, or bugs and butterflies, but it's also about her everyday life on the island. Basically, if I was living on the island and I was my character, this is the journal I would keep for myself. That's the best way to describe it. I also realised I could start using some of my planner stickers because that looks like Taraya. She's got black hair and she wears it in bunches a lot. Turnips. So this is how I log my turnips. A lot of people have got like a big grid, like the tracker, the bullet journal tracker of turnip prices. I don't do that. I just draw a turnip every day and I put whether it's gone up or down and by how much. So this was down 9 points to 81. And that's how I track it. And I don't even do that anymore. And then if I buy turnips, this is plus 50. So that's plus 50 turnips at 90 bells. So I bought 50 turnips at 90 bells. And the following day, the price went down 9 points to 81. And the following day, it went down 6 points to 75. And then it went up 108 points to 183, so I sold. And that's how much I made. So that's how I track it. I don't do a big tracker. You know, you'd be bored in a week. I don't know. It's not really... I get bored very easily. There's no levels or anything. It's not like you have to... You know, you kill so many things and you do so many quests and ding, you gain a level and you get extra things. It's not like that. It's like having your own little place that you can create stuff and, you know, at some point, you know, if people want to see more of this, at some point I'll show you how I play. I won't give you a tour of my island. That's not how I do things, but I will show you how I play and how I use my journal as I play. But I won't be able to stream it on screen like proper streamers do because I only have a Switch Lite. I can't do that. I think she was talking about the game, not the book. I think the book is really grabbing her, and she likes the idea of the game, but she'd get bored with the game in 2 weeks. That's how I read it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. This makes me slow down. I can't power level my way through game because I've only got so many hours in a day. And I want to enjoy my time in game. I don't want to be like, I must do this, I must do that. You know, I'm not, like, if you look at a proper gamer, like Bailey J is a proper gamer. She's an Animal Crossing streamer as well now. She streams on Twitch. She's a proper gamer. When you're just watching her vlogs, you can get from her, you know, she goes in every day and she shakes all her trees and she gets all her bells and she kits all her rocks and she does this and she does this. She's got basically a laundry list of things that she does every day to get the maximum resources out of the game. That's not how I play, you know. I don't count my rocks. If I miss a rock, I miss a rock. I couldn't find I couldn't find a 6th rock yesterday. I was missing a money rock yesterday. I don't care. I've got money. It's not like I'm desperate for money. And I have friends in game that if I did desperately want something and couldn't afford it, I could borrow money from them. You know, it's not like I'm ever going to be at the point where I've got absolutely no money and I can't afford to do things and this is the only way to get forward in the game. You know? Even when you build a bridge, it costs you like 98,000 bells. You don't have to have 98,000 bells for that bridge before you build the bridge. You set up where you want the bridge to be and then you make donations. And if you set it up like that, what I've found is the first time I did it, I paid it all because I had the money. The second time I didn't, but I wanted to pay it in lumps. So I paid a half of the money. And what I found was that other animals on my island contributed. So the next time I went back, he said, we've had 3,000 more bells in donations. So now this is the outstanding balance. So I paid that, you know. If you're intrigued by the game and you like the idea of keeping a game journal, but you're not particularly into games, Pamela, again, I would say try Pocket Camp, because you can do exactly the same with Pocket Camp. I very nearly did. Hey, Vicky! I did the intro for One Book July at the beginning of this replay, of this live, so if you want to check out what I said, it's at the beginning of this replay once I'm finished streaming. That made more sense in my head. And now I'm talking about my project and what I might do. This is what I've been doing since May. I've been treating... The reason I was going to do this for One Book July is because I've been treating it like a 100-day project. Because while I do enjoy this, I know there comes a point in... you were playing with your husband and a friend and it felt like a race. Yeah, that's what I didn't want to happen. That's why I didn't even invite anybody to my island. I invited them the night Celeste was there, because I know Celeste is a big thing. Everybody waits for Celeste. Everybody wants, because she only appears, I think, once every 10 days. You're not guaranteed to get shooting stars, but people want to get the DIYs from her. And I get that. I totally understand. So the night I got Celeste was actually a week before I had planned to invite any of my friends. And I did say, okay, well, it's a bit earlier than I planned, but I've got Celeste. There's going to be shooting stars tonight because there's a meteor shower. I knew people were waiting for that, so I opened my island and my friends came over. So Risha and Cody and all of that lot, they all, you know, some of them came over and just stopped by and gave me a housewarming gift or something that they'd made or a couple of DIYs they had spare. Others just turned up and did shooting stars. Risha stayed and role-played with me, which was fun. My friend Courtney, she's a role player. That's how we met. We actually used to be a role-playing couple at one point. So we've been friends for like 13 years now. And she's never averse to a bit of role-play because it's fun for her. It's a bit different to how she normally plays. So when I go over, she switches to in character, and you know she'll talk to her character will talk to my character in game, and if we're having non-game chat, we talk on our phones. That's how it works. You keep out of game chat, off the game. Courtney does the same. Courtney will role play with me a bit. Even though she's not actually a role player, she is a gamer and she understands what role play is, so she'll role play a bit. And the game really lends itself to that because you've got reactions and stuff. So somebody does something cool or has a cool outfit and you can clap for them or show them love or chat or laugh or whatever, you know. Resident Services was finished and Isabel arrived. This is the beginning of the end. So Isabel starts doing the broadcasts, and your next thing to do is to make your island fit for KK Slider to come and play a gig. So this is kind of the final quest of the initial introduction to the game. Now, most people get to this part there's even things online that tell you how to get to this part in the game in 8 days or whatever. You know, I started playing on the 20th. I got to this point on the 2nd. And then I think I got KK Slider a couple of days later. When did I get... Oh, I'm a bit behind with putting my notes in, aren't I? KK Slider, there we go, 13th. Most people go from starting the game to getting KK Slider in 8 or 9 days. It took me nearly 4 weeks. No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So this is the last kind of... you have to raise your island's valuation. You get stars for your island. You have to raise the rating. And you have to do certain things on your campsite that will get you that rating. And then we had Shark Week, because June the 1st, which again, I knew, but my character didn't, every month you get new bugs and new fish and things to catch. They're only available certain seasons. And June the 1st is Shark Week. That's when all the sharks are available. And she caught a great white. She caught a whale shark. And she caught a hammerhead and a suckerfish all on one day. Resident services opened, so we had a little celebration for that. Got to always have a celebration. Tom Nook does like his little party poppers. This was the day I finished collecting all the shells, because I had all the other shells, but the summer shell only comes out in June. It's only available once a year. So 1st of June, I finally found a summer shell. Well, 2nd of June, I found a summer shell. So that's my shell collection completed. And as you can see, I've been going through the antique thing, trying to find all the different shells. And that's it. That's what I do, you know. New visitors. First campsite visitor arrived. Luca, he's a wrestler. Don't like him, he's creepy. He's one of those little bird characters that looks like jitters. Like the little Robin characters that I do not like. I don't like the bird characters. I like the ostriches and the peacocks are okay, but the little bird characters I don't like at all. And he's got one of those voices that I really don't like. And he was a wrestler, and I walked into his house, and it was just a big boxing ring with like moving wallpaper of a crowd all around. I didn't even bother talking to him. I walked right back out again. I was like, no. Unfortunately, he was the one that I had to have because he was the first one at the campsite. There's the campsite open. Campsite is open and fully operational, and we had a new visitor. So I had no choice but to have him. But then I found out about NFLs. And they're amiibos, basically. You get to select characters that you can invite. And I have 3 characters, well, 4 if you include Muffy, but the 3 characters from the band. So this is where I was talking about the characters from Pocket Camp. I have Maddie, who is just like my Maddie. Everything is the best thing ever, and she's so excited. And oh my god, look, food! And she loves pink. She's exactly like my Maddie. So the group that hung around, of course, Maddie was my favourite, but we have another one called Kyle who looks like Scooby. It's a shame you can't change their names. There is one called Doobie, but he doesn't look like my Scooby, and he's old and he's grumpy. But Kyle has the same temperament as Scooby, so I went for him. And then there's Sherry, or Cherry, who is just a wild punk rock and roll type dog. She's fun. And then there's Lucky, who is... He's called Lucky, but he's covered in bandages. He's one of the Halloween characters. He's a mummy. And his house is amazing. It looks like a graveyard. Ugh. Anyway, I got those 3. They are my band. And the band, or not my band, they're Maddie's band. So Maddie's band, Maddie and the Pirates. Because we're all pirate mad, okay? So we got KK Slider. KK Slider came to do a gig for us, and he's going to come back every Sunday. Maybe he'll play backup band for Maddie and the Pirates. Pirates. I managed to spell it wrong. I spelt my own band wrong. So this is the characters. This is Maddie. This is Kyle, who looks like Scooby. This is Lucky, and this is Cherry. So I bought those as NFLs, amiibo cards, to deliberately invite those. I also want Muffy, but I'm happy to wait for her. These were like £2 on Etsy from a UK seller who was doing a 3 for 2 bundle. It's not like it's expensive. You don't have to do this. It's just that I really wanted those characters because this furthers my character's story. So in my head, Taraya knew the band. Maddie is her bestie. Maddie sings for the band. The band, this is all the ones who hang out at the band on Pocket Camp. So they formed a band and they went on a world tour, which is why they weren't at the island when Taraya got there. But then Maddie said, I can come to the island. And then she arrived at the island, which was, I had to get a certain point in game to be able to get Maddie from Courtney. Courtney Diaz had Maddie and she didn't want to keep her, but she kept her for me long enough that I could wait for her to move out. And then I invited her to my island. So you can kind of trade characters and stuff. And of course, once Maddie arrived, she was like, oh, that's it. I've got to invite the rest of the band. This is amazing. We're going to have the most amazing setup. I'm going to build a band stage and everything. I'm collecting all the stuff for it. Is it still that you can only grow other fruits if you get them from other people? You can get them from other people, or you can go to Mystery Islands and pick them there. So like coconut, I found a cherry island, I found a bamboo island, and I found a coconut. All the islands have coconuts. But the other ones, like pears and oranges and stuff, other people gave them to me. But I didn't go and seek them out. They just, when I invited people over to my island, it seems to be that everybody turns up with 10 of whatever their native fruit is. So I ended up with all of them. But you can get other fruits from Mystery Islands. You don't have to trade with other people anymore. You can play the game purely without ever going online, as far as I can tell. It's just that certain things will be more rare. So maybe pears will be your rare fruit and you've got a 1 in 1,000 chance of actually getting it from a Mystery Island or something. So you still have to work for it, but you don't have to be friends with somebody online to do it. In fact, you play the game offline and you only go online when you want to visit an island or when you want to have visitors. So this was my first neighbour that I actually brought in that I actually liked. This is Pappy. He's cute. He's a lazy ass. He's a horse and he comes under lazy. He goes to bed at 11 and he doesn't get up until 11. But he's a cartoonist. He likes to draw and he keeps a diary. Celia is a scrapbooker, so she got to stay. Bangle is a fashion designer and she likes to play with glitter glue. How could I say no? Maddie is a pop singer, but she also likes to make her own posters and stuff. So all of them have got an arty side to them. Lucky likes to make stuff. He's a DIYer. And he lives in a graveyard. How could I not have him? Cherry is punky, and she likes punky black and red rock and roll type stuff. So of course I've got her. And then I'd started not running out of things to record, but once you've got KK Slider, everything kind of slopes off into, okay, now what are you going to do with your island is up to you. So you're kind of guided through the first bit and then you're left to your own devices with occasional things that you, like events and stuff. And I thought, well, I've got loads of clothes, so instead of wearing the same thing every day, why don't I do an outfit of the day? So I started doing that when I remembered. You can do local play if you've got local friends and family, yes. So it's 3 different ways of playing. You play online, offline, or you can link up with somebody else, like if they're in the same room as you. You can, it's almost like Bluetooth. I think it works through the NFC thing, is it? Oh, here's CJ. This is the guy I was talking about earlier. So Chuck, CJ, does this stand for Chuck Jr.? He's definitely resembled to this guy, Grandpa Chuck. Nyuk. Because they both said Nyuk. So straight away she knew. Oh, I definitely want Flick to live on my island. Flick is amazing. Flick is the next best thing, or Cherry is the next best thing to having Flick. Flick is so cute. I absolutely adore Flick. The first thing I said when I met him was I wish I could have him come and live on my island, because he's an artist. He taxidermies bugs. Fuchsia. Now, I wasn't going to have Fuchsia, but she was the first thing I found when I went looking for somebody to move into my house. She was the first character I found that wasn't a damn bird. Everything was a bird, and I hate the bird characters. I'm sorry, but I just do. I don't like any of them. And I found her, and I was like, oh my god, she's pink. Of course she's pink. I hate pink. Of course she's pink. But actually, her favourite colour is red, and she's a rock and roll chick. She's very 60s inspired. So I can forgive her being bright pink, because actually she likes red stuff. Her whole house is red. Everything about her house is red. His little spikes with his piercings. Yeah, it's so cute, isn't it? That's like Sherry. Sherry's got... not Sherry. There's Sherry and there's Cherry. Cherry has all down her ear. She has, like I do. Yeah, I love Flick. I think he's adorable. Though this was my gold rose. A gold rose grew in Lucky's garden. This is my log of what I'm keeping for CJ, because there's certain fish that are better to keep, to give to CJ, because you get more money for them. Some of them it isn't worth it, because it's only 100 bells or so, but some of them are like, if it's worth like 2,000 or 3,000 to on the drop box or in the Nook shop, then it's worth hanging on to it to give it to CJ. So I need to put on here, I've got a barrel knife jaw. I've got 2 of those from yesterday. And that's all I do. And that's simply so that she remembers next time she sees CJ, she knows what she's got to give him. Maddie's here. Maddie arrived. Yay! This is my concession to pink. Maddie is all about pink and pirates. Yeah. And then Lucky, Maddie said, look how cute she is. Hi, how's my bestie? Yippee! I was like way into this walk, but then it started to get boring. And then I found you, and now it's fab again. Hello, baby. Yes, Maddie. Maddie. That's what I said, Maddie. Hi. Hi. Oh, she's all toasty on one side. She's been sunning herself. That's another thing she does. She's got a sun lounger, and she lies on the sun lounger all day. It's so sunny. Lucky. Yeah, so she said, why don't we get the whole band over? Let's get the whole band visiting. And that's as far as I've got. So I've got to do... I've got a couple of days that I don't really have anything to record, but I'm going to, just so that it's a full 100 days. So those, like the 19th, I think the 20th, 21st, will probably be like 2 half pages. Because sometimes I use 2 pages for a day, sometimes I use 1, sometimes I do a couple of days on a page. It just depends how much I've got to record. So probably, I've got a photo to print here of Lucky. That's his amiibo. And then I've got a couple of days where not much happened, and then I've got Cherry to do, and then I've got just invited Kyle. So that's all 3 of the band. So my next project for me as a gamer is to build the band stage and work out where the band's going to live, and get the houses moved, that's a week's worth of work. The way I play, that's a week's worth of work. So that's my plan for the next week, is to have the band stuff set up, ready. Frank throws shade at all the other houses' decor. Oh, he's the big eagle. Those look like, they remind me of Sam from the Muppets. He's grumpy, yeah. I like Apollo. Apollo thinks he's a pirate, and he's also grumpy. I've got Admiral, who is an old army captain who likes... Every time I see him, I give him a fish, and he loves it. He runs up to me and gives me little hearts. It's so funny. I've got Stinky, who is a He's one of the jocks, but he's this cute little cat and he's kind of growing on me. I didn't actually want to have a jock on my island, but apparently it's better if you have one of each. So I call him Smelly Cat because he's always going on about, oh, can you smell me? I haven't showered and I've done 2 workouts today. Oh, he's crazy. And then I've got Admiral, who is an old sea captain, and he's always sick. He's a hypochondriac. Oh, it's so rainy out. I hope my arthritis doesn't start up. Oh, I've got a cold, I think, coming. I sneezed twice last week. I think I'm getting a cold. He's so funny. But if my islanders don't entertain me or I don't find them funny, I'm not keeping them. And I kicked one out the other day. Oh, I kicked Robin out. Maddie's first day on the island, and I didn't know this could happen. Apparently, if you have a Peppy and a whatever Robin was, Snooty, I think she is, because Cherry and Maddie are both dogs, so they don't have the conflict. But if you have 2 different animals, a Peppy and a Snooty will have conflict. And she started having a go at Maddie. And they were having a real argument, like at each other. I was like, what the hell's happening? So I texted Courtney and I said, my characters are arguing. Somebody's arguing with Maddie. And she said, oh, if you go and talk to Maddie when she stomps off, because she stomped off like little thought bubbles, like she was talking to herself, grumbling, just like Maddie does. And Courtney said, oh, if you go and talk to her, she'll tell you what's wrong. So I went to talk to her. Robin said I'm never going to be famous and that I can't sing and that I've got no fashion sense. And she was really upset. I was like, right, bitch is out. So that will be part of her journal, you know. I took photos of it. Robin having an argument with Maddie. That's it. She's out. She's kicked off the island. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Cherry's coming tomorrow. She's having your house. So yeah, Robin got kicked to the curb. I didn't like her anyway. I don't like the snooty characters anyway. Cherry is snooty, but in a... she's almost snooty in a trad goth kind of way. You know, she laughs at the way other people dress, and she's like, oh my god, she's wearing that. But she's funny with it. She's not nasty. Robin was nasty. I didn't like her at all. Plus she was a bird, so she had to go. Anyway, back to One Book July. So that's what I've been doing at the moment. So that's kind of my creative project at the moment, is this Animal Crossing journal that's not really a journal, it's creative. So it doesn't matter that it's Animal Crossing, it's more about the journal. I can show you how I play the game and how I use my journal while I play the game, but you won't be able to see much of what I'm doing in game because I'll have to film it like this. Because like I said, I can't stream full thing to my computer because I've only got a Switch Lite. But I do have this thing, which means I can prop it up. If I can prop it up at such an angle that there's no reflections on screen, I should be able to film it like that, I think. Should we try it? I think it's switched on. Let's see if it works. If I can get it to a place where there's no reflections, you might be able to see the actual screen, and then I can show you how I play and how I write the journal as I'm going. Because I don't play like a normal gamer. I've got my journal open in front of me at all times. Now you're thinking of doing some sort of journal. Well, you play Lord of the Rings, don't you? And you're not a power leveler either. If you're not a power leveler or a raider, then this could be something that you did. And if you're not a role player like me, you don't want to do it in character, you could do it... I'm going to turn the sound down. Oh, there's Admiral. That's my grumpy man. Yeah, Yeah, actually, I think I could do that. I could show you bits and pieces, couldn't I? It looks like if I, as long as I keep it on the desk. Oh, it's slow booting up today. It looks like if I kept it on the desk like that. So this is the news for the day. She doesn't normally have any news. Oh, Cherry's moved in. That's the big news of the day. So Cherry's here, but I knew that already. I think that might work, actually. Let me try it. Because if people want to see this, then I'll do it. I mean, it's only really one session, but, you know, I could, in theory... So I can't really zoom in because then you wouldn't see the book. But I could, like if I'm working on this side of the book, I could bring it down to sort of there. You're not going to get a clear view of what's going on screen, but it's not about the game. You've got Muffy. I want Muffy. I desperately want Muffy. Muffy is like... Taraya treats Muffy like a grandma. She's like the grandma of the band. She's like the hip, old fusty goth that's like... she's like me. She's old goth. But she hangs out with the kids because she still likes the music and the motorbikes. Sorry, this is just the start-up stuff that happens automatically that you have to get through. Yes. There we go. Okay, so this is my... Let me see if this works. I'm going to zoom into the camera version. Oh, it's weird holding it like this. There you go, there's my character. Muffy was one of your originals. Oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. Tammy was one of my originals and I couldn't wait to get rid of her. The minute she asked to leave, I was like, yep, gone, bye. Don't let the door hit you in the way out. Yeah, so that's Taraya. And that's her house. It's all very dark again. I'm sure the weather is like what it was last week because it's been rainy and thundering and grey all week. And that's what it was like here last week. So I think the weather is a week behind. So that's Taraya's house. And then Maddie lives next door. Oh, sorry, got to come out of phone mode. Oh, it's weird holding it like that. I might have to hold it like this. Can I hold it like that and still not have it? I'm trying to work out how I would do this if that's what people want to see. So that's Maddie's house. Maddie's put her paw print up. I made her a paw print for her front door and she didn't put it up yesterday, but she put it up today. You got Bam and Muffy. You got like 1/5 of everybody's dream team. Everybody likes Bam and Muffy. This is Lucky's house. I don't think he's in. He's usually out on a snack run. Yeah, he's out on a snack run. But he's got a skeleton in the graveyard. Oh. And there's his gold roses, and he's got a little bench in his graveyard there. But his house looks like a graveyard. Inside it looks like a crypt. It's awesome. So yeah, that's the little patch where the band lives. And then Cherry, I'm going to move her house up the back there. No, I might move it here actually, so all the girls are together, and then put Kyle up at the back with Lucky. But yeah, I think that can work because it's not really about showing you the game or doing a tour of the island. It's just about showing you how I play and how I journal as I'm doing it. So I think I can do this. I might have to keep moving the camera around. I might have to, so that you get the best view, I might have to like do it like that. Or I'll have to find a way to film it so that it's not reflecting. But then that I'll have to keep refocusing. I might not be able to do that. I think it's probably best, honestly, if I do it so that you can see the page and you can see the game. And then I can journal on this side here. I think that's probably the best way to do it, isn't it? And just have the game in the middle here so you can see what's going on. Yeah, I think I can do that. So let's save that so that I don't have to go through all that again when I load it up again. Okay, so that'll work. If you'd like to see that, I can do a session on that. I'm also going to be doing Junk Journal July, which is just a fun thing that I do. I enjoy the Junk Journal ones because it's like maybe half an hour of doing some collage or whatever in my junk journal. But I'm not filming it every day and all that. I don't have that kind of energy right now. It's ironic that spending more time at home means I'm doing less. But that's how it is. It's stressful for everybody, isn't it? And then I've got my sketchbook, which I also want to do a bit more of this year. So it's not one book. It's one book 3 times. Creative projects that I'm working on. But, you know, it's like this. This doesn't have to be a game journal. You could do it for your garden or your nature walks or, you know, anything really. You could do it for, if you're really into a particular book, and ooh, don't know why that's ringing. If you're really into a particular book, say, and you want to make the book last, you could read the book and keep a journal as if you were the character in the book. I've done that before. And it doesn't have to be a big, thick, chunky book like this. It doesn't have to be elaborate journaling. It could just be like a little one of these inserts and you just make notes, especially if it's like a murder mystery or something. That's really fun. If you've never done it before and it's a murder mystery, you can try and work it out as you go along. Agatha Christie works well for that because all the clues are there. There is no twist at the end of, oh, I didn't know those two were related or anything like that. All the clues are there. You just have to find them and put them together. And every time you get to the end and you realise, actually, that was blatantly obvious and I just missed it. I just didn't notice it. And like I say, if you want to play along and you want to try it out, you know, get a little field notes insert, get the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp game on your phone, which is just a little free phone app. You can subscribe to it and stuff, but you don't have to. And, you know, just pootle around doing little quests every day, and, you know, because not everybody has time to game. I've taken up gaming again as my hobby. So it's what I do when I'm not working. Because otherwise, I just work all the time. But as you can see, even when I'm gaming, I've still got a journal at hand. But this is free. You don't have to do anything for this. I mean, it's got lots of things that you can do. But it works on the same premise. You have a cabin and a camp, and you can make friends online, and they can visit you, and they can, okay, here's an example. Herbeth has put up a new picture of his camp. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my God, he's got KK Slider. He has KK Slider at his pocket camp. Oh, that fly needs to go. Bloody midges. Keep biting me. I hate them. Oh, nice. So I'll give him kudos. And then if you want to, you can go into their thing and you can go and visit them. Where is it? Well, I can't remember where you go into now to go and find them. But you can go in and visit somebody. You can actually go to their camp and walk around it and see what they're doing. There's Muffy. She's basically me. You're not slowing down, are you, Taraya? The night's still young, Nightshade. What's the latest? Oh, darn, I was going to bring over a couple of games for us to try, but I forgot them at home. We could have stayed up all night playing games together. Can't let myself forget them next time, Nightshade. And then this one does have levels and things, and depending on how much your characters love you, that equates to how many points you get, and you do little favours for them. And there's Maddie in the other game. So see, I knew Maddie. Maddie is my caretaker for my camp. So when I'm offline, she's collecting stuff. So this is all the stuff that she's collected. And in this one, you can dress them up. Like in Animal Crossing, the game, you can give them stuff and they will put it in their house, or they will wear it, or they will give it to another character. On this one, you can literally just change what they're wearing. So Maddie's got a Halloween hat and star glasses, pink star glasses, and a fluffy jumper, because the last time I logged in, it was cold. And look, she's just so bouncy and like, yay, yay, I did it, I love it. I'm so cool. Oh my gosh, Taraya! I'm so glad to see you! She's just like Maddie. She's just like you, Bubsy. She is just like you. Yes, she is. So I can change your outfit. Let's change your outfit. Oh my gosh, the suspense. It's too much. What are you going to pick? I'm sure it'll be super chic and mod. What should we give her? I think she needs a pink. She needs to go pink for a while. And it needs to be bright and cheerful. And, ooh, that one's cute. There we go. Let's give her that one. Wow, Taraya, just wow. This is like beyond what I expected. It looks fantastic. And she loves me. Oh, everybody loves you in Pocket Camp. The other one is more harder work, but everybody loves you in Pocket Camp. And then I've got Lucky over here. He lives at the house as well. That's Goldie, who is another one that I want to get. But Goldie and Muffy, I'm not in any rush. That's kind of an end game. That's long term. I will search for those two and get them to come to the game. But this is, that's the alternative, is you could use that and do just a little mini journal just for a month, just for a change. If you're not particularly a gamer, or you're not particularly into games, or, you don't mind Farmville and stuff, but you don't want to have proper games, then that's a very similar thing. You can see it's not dissimilar to Farmville. You fish and you collect fruit and you do favours for people and you find lost objects and you build a house and you put furniture in it and you craft. So that's for those of you who are intrigued but don't necessarily want to actually play, for a month, that would be fun to do. We're finally closed in the greenhouse. You might do a garden journal. Yes, that would work for this. This is very much like a nature journal. I mean, it's basically the things she found while she was out and about and the stuff that she did and the people that she met. So that's basically what it is. Or Minecraft, yeah. Minecraft would work. Any game would work. Any game with a little bit of imagination you can do this with. Especially if you want to slow the game down. See, that's me. I always say to people, I don't want spoilers. Don't tell me in advance, oh, if you do this and you do this, and here, you have two of these, and then you can do this. I make exceptions for nice gifts. Like when Courtney came over, she didn't give me all the different hybrid flowers, but she did give me all the black flowers because my character likes black. So she brought me a black rose and a couple of black lilies and something else. And I've been reproducing them from there. And I figured out that if I plant them all together, they multiply. So, that was a housewarming gift that she brought with her when she came to the island. But I don't accept, spoilers and stuff of people telling me how to do things. Because I want to figure it out for myself. I don't want to... If I get really, really stuck, I can go and Google it, right? But there's always the option to ask a friend. And if you're a gamer, you know what to ask. So, when the big golden hole opened up, when I dug up the bells, And instead of just disappearing, there was a big golden hole. And I'm like, ooh, this has more to the story. So I got my friend over and I asked her about this big golden hole in the ground. What do I do with it? What is it? And she told me. So therefore I knew. You don't have to go and get all the spoilers for the game and know exactly how to play and shake all your bells and trees every day in order to enjoy a game. You're going to be brainstorming creative journals. Yeah. You could even make one up. What's her name? Ros Stendhal used to do, I can't remember what the challenge was called, but it was every April. I don't know if she still does it. But you'd make up a journal. And she used to do all sorts of things. She did a journal for her dog. She kept a journal for her dog for a month. From her dog's point of view. She kept one for a fictional farm. She kept one for Alice in Wonderland because she knew the story. So she turned it into a journal of a month for the whole story. So it became, you know, what happened to Alice in Wonderland over 30 days. So there's all sorts of things you can do with this. And it's not about what game you're playing or anything like that. It's just about the journal and making it creative and fun. If you ever get internet and everything. Oh, Risha, I have a ton of bamboo that I don't need. You can have it if you want it. Oh, an absolute ton of it. I've even got bamboo things that you can have, the bamboo shoots that you can have to grow if you want them, if you want extra bamboo, because I just don't use it. I don't like the bamboo furniture, so I'm never going to use any of it. You want benches for outside? I've got stone benches. I can make stone benches, and I think I've got the bamboo bench. I've also got the bamboo lantern. We'll have to chat. For anybody who does play... Oh, there's an island, Emily. Go on the mystery tours. You can find the islands. Or get a bamboo shoot from somebody. Add my friend code and I'll have my island open at some point. You can come and collect a bamboo shoot if you want. Actually, that's not sensible putting it on here, is it? I could have all and sundry adding me. We have a Discord that is only for mine and Courtney Raven Inc. patrons and subscribers. Anybody who plays Animal Crossing or who is a gamer in general or just wants somewhere to hang out with other journalists and planners and chat with them. We have a Discord. So if you want it, just DM me or Risha or Moon Tiger's Path, that's Mika, or Katie, or email Katie at RhomanysRealm@gmail.com. And we'll give you the Discord. You can get an invite to come over. If you're a patron or class member, you should already have it. Or if you're in Little Raven Inc.'s Animal Crossing Facebook group for her patrons. So. Oh! Now, there I was just about to wrap up. And I forgot about something else because it's just remembering that Miss Vicky B was here. Look what I got. I'm just going to hide this bit. I opened it because... Actually, I can take it all out now. Man, the smell of this thing. Oof. I can take it all out now so I don't have to worry about addresses and stuff on boxes. I haven't opened it all. I saw the card on top and I opened the card. I haven't opened anything else. So, she sent me a lovely card with a message saying, I hope you enjoy these. This was it's not really stencil. It's not really a trade. It's, I did something nice for her and this is her reply. Let's put it like that. So, But that's a pretty card. That'll go into my junk journal, of course. And what I do with cards is, like, that's the envelope, and I just slit it across the top, and then I've just slotted the card in here. So there's her writing on it. So I can just stick that, literally just stick that into my journal. And then the card is free, and I can put other stuff in here, or I can journal on here, or whatever. So it's just a form of tipping. So these look like dashboards, which is interesting. I'll come to this one in a second. This is what the amazing smell is. Wow, this is interesting, because these are, looks like large size and full size dashboards. I've got a stencil. Oh, 2 stencils. Oh, these go together. This is a hinged stencil. It goes together like that. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I love that. Isn't that awesome? I've not seen one like that. Sorry, I've gone off camera again. I've not seen one like that before. And it's got letters, out, capital and small letters and numbers and exclamations. And then it's got weather. So it's got a sun, a cloud, an umbrella, a house, a shamrock, a mushroom, a little Tweety bird, a Christmas tree, notes, cherries, an envelope, rabbit, telephone, crown, stars, flowers. Oh, this would be great for Animal Crossing. Oh my God, I can use that in my journal. I can use that in my Animal Crossing journal, look. That's perfect to go in there. Oh, I need to fix that pocket. That's driving me berserk. I'll just pop it into here for now. I can even just pop it in there and leave it flat, because I do that. And then I do that. And that holds it all together, you see. Oh, that's awesome. I love... They're from Daiso, are they? We don't have Daiso, you see. Daiso has not come to the UK yet. That's so cute. I love the fact that it clips together, but that you can really easily, like, it's flexible, so you can really easily take it apart. That is adorable. Thank you, Vicky. I like that. And never mind the rest of the presents. I'm happy with the stencil. So she sent me these, and she said in her note, I'm sure you can find something to do with these. I'm not 100% sure I can find something to do. I will think of something to do with them. But I'm not into birds. I'm not into these kind of... Oh, that's quite nice. I like that one. Oh, I like the inside of that one. I don't really use dashboards, so... It's a bit... It's really nice, thank you. I'm not being unappreciative. It's just I'm trying to think what I would do with them. I guess I could turn them into, like, covers for notebooks. Oh, I like that one. That's quite nice. That's a cute design. Ooh. That one's bright pink. That'll go in Courtney's box because she has a Midori Traveller's notebook this size. So that's bright pink. That'll go straight into Courtney's box. Interesting. What can I do with those? Oh, there's another one there. See, I really like this. Not so keen on the birds. I don't use dashboards. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 if I give this one to Courtney. I've got a box of pink stuff to send to Courtney, you see. Can use them as pencil boards and washi. Yeah, though there's plenty of uses for them, I just don't. I have a pencil board and I don't use that either. But now I'm intrigued. They would make good covers for like a... Maybe I'll turn them into junk journals. These are Filofax dividers. I like that one. That's cool. Oh, I like that one. That's more me. Interesting. See, these I can use in my junk journals because they're flat and there's, you know, I could add them into my junk journal and turn them into a pocket or something, or, you know, even that one, you know, a bit of washi tape across those holes. You could even put washi tape underneath so that it shows the colour through or something. Just, you know, you can put those in, or you can use them as washi holders as well. I don't tend to use anything this big as a washi holder because I've only got smaller journals that I use washi in, but ooh, that's interesting. So what am I going to do with that? See, that's another creative project now. I could make individual junk journals with them, yeah. What's this? Put your spin on it. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, it's an interesting envelope type thing. Oh, that's cool. Can't go wrong with a bit of blue and some black and white stripes, right? This matches my... Is that what made you think of it, Vicky? Matches my thing. That would be quite good, actually. I mean, I could just put it in my junk journal, but that would be quite good to use for little bits and pieces. I wonder if it... Oh, it fits in the back of there, look. It fits perfectly in that little thing. I could put little bits and pieces that I want to use in my journals, because there's 2 pockets in this. They're not massively big, but they're big enough to put a few bits and pieces in. That's really cool. Oh, well, that matches my book, so I'm going to put it in there. Matches my bag. Okay, and then the piece de resistance. Ooh. This is what smells, because originally it was boxed up and ready to go out in March, and then COVID happened. That's the story with everything at the moment, isn't it? And then COVID happened. So it's been sat in a box in Vicky's car until she could get to the post office again. So 2.5 months in a box, in a car, and my God, this smells like you walked into a saddlery, you know, a saddle maker's shop, or a place where they sell cowboy boots, or any kind of leatherworking place. It's so strong. It smells amazing. Oh, such a good smell. This is from... Is Vicky still here? Is she going to tell me? Is it Apple Pig? Apple Pig leather? It's one of the Chinese guys. I can't remember. Oh, I should have looked that up, shouldn't I? But, oh, look at this. Oh, look, dog hair. Story of our lives. It's probably a hanky hair, that one. This is really interesting. Even more so. Oh, yes, it is. Look, Apple Pig. Apple Pig leather. That's his design. It's a little apple that looks like a pig. This is so interesting. Because there's a story behind this of why I've actually got it, but I'm not going to go into that on YouTube. I was really intrigued by this. I don't understand how this works. Oh, hang on. I think it goes like that. Right. Okay, so it opens out, and then that goes on there, and then that goes on there. As you can see, this leather sniffing isn't a legit hobby. Yes, well, it is now. Oh, I can't believe that a couple of weeks in a box has made it smell like that. Oh, stunning. Absolutely stunning. And it feels so nice. It's like really chunky. It's heavy. It's really heavy. This is not an everyday carry kind of thing for me. I'm a passport girl. This is way too heavy and chunky as a carry for me. Originally, I thought when I saw it, it was a B6, something like that. I thought it was shorter. I thought it was like this sort of size. But now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking it's more Midori Kaye. Midori, moleskin. I've got a Moleskine Cahier here. I think it's Moleskine Cahier size. Let's try it, shall we? Because this could change things. If it is. Look at that. It is. It's perfect. Perfect Moleskine Cahier size. Ooh. Okay, so let's, for those of you who follow Miss Vicky B, you've already seen this when she unboxed it. But it's got it's contrast stitching on the blue. It's not showing up true to colour. This is true to colour, this purple. It's slightly darker in real life, but it's showing up fairly true to colour. Let me see if I can shade it. Okay, that area there in shadow, that's what I'm actually seeing. That lovely purpley colour. This is like... I can't describe it. I've never seen a colour like this before. I've never seen this blue kind of colour before. Let me try and... That's about as close as I can get to the actual colours. You can never pick up purple properly on camera, and my camera's not particularly good at picking up colour anyway. But that's as close as I can get to the colours on camera as to what they actually are. So it's a trifold. It's got this clip on the front. There's a zip. Oh, there's a pocket here. Oh, there's a pocket here. It's quite thick leather, but it's all finished beautifully. There's nothing rough about it. It's got this thing on the front, which is a big chunky zip thing, which you could use as a coin purse or, you know, to put things in, I'm sure. Well, of course you can put things in it, but, you know, you could use a pen case or whatever. This is the full length of the wallet, so that's pretty chunky. There's nothing here. This is just fancy. It's not anything like, there's not a pen loop there or anything like that. Then inside there's a big pocket here, a small pocket here. I wonder if my phone will fit in there. Let me just take my card out so my number isn't on camera. My phone fits in there. I've got an iPhone 8 and that fits perfectly in there, which is interesting. Let me put my card back in now so I know where it is. Hang on, I forgot to turn Animal Crossing off. There we go. So that's cool. There's 4 bands, but technically you could use 3 because 2 of them are together. So you could use 2 or 4, 3 or 4. There's another pocket here and 2 secretarial pockets, one medium, one small. There's a pen thing here. Let me try my... This is the key test of all my pens. If this fits, I'm happy. Because this is one of the hardest pens to fit in anywhere. Yeah, that fits. That's my big, thick, chunky Bic. It does fit. It doesn't go all the way down, but it's so tight that it doesn't matter. Because this is silicone. Let's try a different pen. This is enamel all the way down. So, yeah, a fountain pen would fit in there easily. Interesting. And then on this side, this is stitched, I think. Yeah, that bit's stitched. This is a secretarial pocket. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 card slots. So these are only card slots. They don't go all the way down. They're just regular put your credit cards in type things. So if you were so to do... Oh, and this bit, this is solid. This is like, well, it's not solid, you can bend it, but because of the pen and the double thickness of layer and the way it's constructed and the extra bit on the spine, it's hardback, essentially. I mean, it's not, it's still squishy, but it's essentially, it's structured there. So this bit stays square. But this bit is round and floppy. Like a normal traveller's notebook. It's interesting, isn't it? You're not seeing me change my mind about what I'm using for One Book July. What you're seeing is me trying to decide what I am going to use, because I haven't been, since this whole thing started in March, I've been completely derailed. My patrons will tell you I've struggled to plan anything. I have struggled to even keep track of anything. I've got my lists written in 3 or 4 different places because from one day to the next I can't decide what I want to do. I can't settle. I haven't journaled. I haven't even sketched that much. I mean, I have sketched quite a bit, but not a huge amount. Nowhere near as much as I normally would have in 3 months. But now what I'm thinking, because this is never going to be the kind of thing that I carry out and about around town. Okay, I know some of you like a big chunky planner. This thing's heavy already and it's not even got anything in it yet. I am much more of a grab and go kind of girl. This is my everyday carry. This is what I take out with me. And I'm perfectly happy with this. Don't need anything else. But when I'm at home, I don't really care how big or heavy or chunky my planner is. And normally, when I work this size, I use my Ravenclaw planner, which is what I've had since 2013, I think. 2012, 2013 has been what I've been using. I'm thinking maybe I'll set up this structure plus a junk journal in here for July to just get myself back into this structure, which I haven't been using, and my regular, this is what I always do. This is my bullet journal. This is my, well, bullet journal / notebook. This is my collage and sketching book. This is my journal, and then this is my junk journal. So I'm thinking along those lines. And then try that for July as a way of getting myself back into this format. Because you can see, I've got everything everywhere. I've got this here. I've got the one in my bullet journal, my big bullet journal, which I was trying to get back into, but I don't know. I just can't. I don't know why. I've even got the same setup. I tried it in here. I was like, well, maybe a change of book will work. And I tried it in here. I didn't get very far with that either. In fact, I didn't even start my journal in this one. I did a swatch page. This was going to be my journal sketchbook. I did a page of swatches of colours, and then that was it. I haven't done anything else in it. I just cannot seem to settle, and I'm wondering if this will help. Because, Maddie, leave it. The excitement of having a new notebook, especially a beautiful one, given to you by a good friend, that also smells amazing, that is completely unlike anything you... Well, it's not totally unlike anything I own. I do have a trifold that's a Janelli fish, but that's completely plain. It's got no pockets or anything. And I'm wondering if maybe I could put my stuff in here and have a pen. Maddie! Use the pockets for putting my junk journaling stuff in. I could put some washi tape cards in here. I already store all my washi tapes on cards anyway, if you don't already know. All of my washi tape goes straight onto cards. And I chuck the big rolls of washi tape into a sample box. So I could just literally just fill this with a few different washi tapes. Like that. They're plenty big enough. I've got plenty of pockets where I can put bits and pieces to go in my junk journal. Back here and here. I've got places here where I can put stickers and planner stickers and things. So I'm thinking maybe this is what would work. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll set that up for June, and with the intention of, you know, if it works, I'll keep going with it. But it's also the same structure that I always use. So if I decide that this is lovely, but it's too heavy, or I want to just use it as a junk journal, or I just want to use it as a whatever, then I can just take the booklets out and put them in my Ravenclaw book and use this for something else. Huh. See, I had a plan, and then Miss Vicky B threw it all to hell. You have an A6 in red from Apple Pig. They do... oh. This smells like how I expected my Midori Traveller's Notebook to smell when I got it, and it didn't. And I was really disappointed, because it smells like... oh. It's like walking into a stables when they've just cleaned all the leather. It's amazing. I can't get over it. Just the smell alone makes me want to use it, even though it's way bigger and chunkier than I would normally go for. That alone makes me want to. And I'm thinking, with it being summer, if I'm going to be gaming, which is my new hobby, I grab my Switch and this, and I go out, and that's it. That's all I need. If I'm going to be not working, but doing art, journaling, junk journaling type stuff for Patreon or whatever, I could just take this and I could set it up so that I've got just the basics in here. Because this could be a pencil case easily, couldn't it? This is what One Book July is about. It's about exploring what works and letting go of other things. Exactly. Exactly. I know this is not the kind of notebook I would just move into and then that would be it. That was, oh, this is my ride or die. I'm going to carry this thing everywhere. Because it's too heavy. It's not going to happen. But I can think of lots of uses for this. This I know. Yeah, you've missed most of it, but don't worry. You can go back and catch up on 2.5 hours. Hi, Cody. I can use this and set the goal of using it for July and see where it goes. Maybe by the end of July I'll be used to the weight of it and go, actually, I really like this, and I'll just take my little one if I go out. Or maybe I'll be like, oh no, I've thought of a better use for this. I will go and... because it's moleskin size. And look at the thickness of it. I could even... I bet this would fit in here. I bet this would fit. Yeah, it would. Need a bit of squishing. It would fit better if it was soft cover. A soft cover would fit better. It's a bit too hard and stiff. It doesn't quite wrap around properly. It buckles the leather, as you can see, but it does fit. A soft cover would be better. But I'm not averse to taking a hard cover off a notebook and recovering it with soft. You know, that's never been an issue for me. Especially with moleskins, because they're put together so well, taking the cover off, as long as you do it carefully, doesn't really make any difference. It wouldn't work as a folio because it's the same height, I think. Oh, it might work. Hang on. Hang on. Hold your horses. No, it's a bit too tight. I could force it in there and it would fit, but it's a little bit too tight. It would work with a soft cover, which would take the weight down, because this thing is heavy. This thing is heavy already, and then you put it in a cover like this and it's even heavier. And at that point, my laziness kicks in and I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to use this. But you could fit that in there if you wanted to. But I like my moleskin cahiers. And I've got several of these. This has only got a few pages in it, so I could use this one for notes. And what I also do, because the moleskin cahiers, the 10, usually are somewhere between £8 and £11 on Amazon. But I also use these. There's another one. I use these, which are the extra large, which are the composition book size. But a 3-pack of these, which are way bigger than that, and twice as thick, are usually only £11 as well. £9 to £11. So these are £8 to £11, these are £9 to £11, and they're twice as thick. So I buy these and I cut them down. Because for the same price, you know, I can just cut off a little bit and I've got twice as many pages. So you can see how much thicker one is than the other. So I've got these. I don't even need to buy any notebooks. I've got a lined notes. I've got another lined one there that I've only used a couple of pages in, which I could technically use as a bullet journal. And I've got 3, I think these are all blank. Are these blank? No, that's blank. That's blank. And that's blank. Oh, that's used. Oh, that's my book binding one. I can't use that one. But I don't need it because I've already got 3. So I could just cut these down. And then if I decide to carry on with it, which I probably will, honestly, once I go back to Moleskine Cahier size, I probably will stick with it. But I could just put these in the other book then. But I also think I might have another couple of these. I think I've got a square one and 2 blank ones spare. And I think they're in the second drawer of that little thing there. I don't think I can get to it easily right now. Are these on my shopping list thingy? No, but I can put them on. I don't generally link them because they're, depending on what colour you get and what pages you get and stuff like that, you kind of have to shop around to find out which is the cheapest option. But quite often the 3 of these will come up as £8 or £11. I've seen them come up as £11 and these have been 13 for the same thing, and these are bigger and twice as many pages. So I buy these and cut them down because I don't care about the waste if it's costing me the same amount of money. But as it happens, the bit that I cut off is actually, if you look at the size of the bit that you cut off on these books, what I tend to do is keep this bit, staple it together at the top or stitch it together at the top and just chuck it in the car as a grocery list book, or just a tear off thing that I can make a little shopping list thing. So I can put them in, but I can't guarantee that you still have to look around. But you know where the if you're thinking in terms of buying it through my shopping list because it helps the channel, actually if you use any link from my shopping list and then purchase something, then you don't have to have purchased, like you could follow a link for this and then shop around and follow links and then eventually buy this. It will still count. I still get a couple of pence back because you used my link to get there, even though you didn't buy this. Does that make sense? So if you think of it in those terms, you can use any link to get there. But yeah, I can add these. These are just the extra large moleskines. Extra large Moleskine Cahier and large Moleskine Cahier. These are basically like regular moleskines, but they're cardboard cover. And you get 3 of them in a pack. But they work great as traveller's notebooks. I think, looking at this, I'm thinking, if I try and move into this, it'll feel too much like I'm trying to see out the rest of the year in it and not just the month. So I'm thinking maybe I'll keep these for once I know if I'm going to see out the rest of the year in the same format. And what I'll do for now is use, I mean, like I say, this was my book that I was using for my astrology notes when I was when I was going out to astrology. Obviously we don't go out to astrology anymore. But there's only like 3 or 4 pages used in it. So technically I could use that as my bullet journal actually for July. I could just start a bullet journal from because it's already got notes in it. It doesn't matter. It's already set up in bullet journal format. It doesn't matter. So I could just, you know, skip to whatever the first usable page is. And no, I don't care about bleed through or ghosting or anything like that. I love moleskins. I don't care what anybody says about the paper. I love moleskins. So I could quite simply just clip all those together and just say, okay, I'm just going to start my bullet journal here. Or even treat that as part of my bullet journal. You know, they are notes. They are astrology notes, and it is the kind of thing that I put in my bullet journal. And then that will be July's bullet journal. And then I could have another blank one for my sketchbook and fold up some papers for a junk journal to do junk journal July in. That could work. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah. Also, if you're in America, because obviously my Amazon links are UK, if you're in the EU, you can use the UK links and then go through to your own. It should take you automatically to like your own local site, like Germany or whatever. If you don't have a local site, you can buy off UK anyway, obviously. But if you're in America, when you follow a link from mine to Amazon UK, I don't know if it does it on phones or tablets or whatever, but certainly on a computer, when you follow a link, it should tell you at the top, you're on the UK site, do you want to switch to the American one? And because I have an American count as well, you can switch to American and it will still count. The paper's not for you. Yeah, some people just don't like the paper. Fountain pen users especially. I mean, that was fountain pen. It absolutely doesn't bother me that it ghosted through. I do not care. In fact, it bled through. It bled through completely. That's fountain pen. But I don't normally write in fountain pen. I normally write in ballpoint pen. Biro. I write in this. The only reason I'm using this in this book is because I wanted a pen. I've got these pens. I've got several of these pens and they're waterproof. They're chunky rollables, they're gel pens, and I don't normally write in gel pen, but because it's waterproof, I don't mind using it. I've got several of them, and honestly, the only reason I chose this pen was it's got a chunkier nib than I would normally use, which means it makes me write bigger. You can see that the size of the writing in this is not how I normally write. I mean, you can read it on YouTube. When have you ever been able to read any of my writing on YouTube? I write super tiny. But this makes me just loosen up and just scribble, and I don't care. But normally I write with ballpoint pen. I love my Parker Jotters, I love my Bics, and I do have some fountain pens that I enjoy using, but I also have Toma River paper, and I have my Midori. Until I changed it out the other day, that Midori still had my writing journal. I use the 013 inserts and I use it as a writing journal. It's where I do what I call my evening pages, which are like morning pages, but I do them at night because that's when I need to do them. I'm not capable of even holding a pen first thing in the morning. I don't need to do 3 pages to get my brain going. That's far too early to wake up the squirrels. If the squirrels are quiet, I enjoy the peace. But late at night, when the squirrels are still rampant and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's like gone midnight and I want to go to bed now. And the squirrels are like, yeah, but wouldn't it be fun if we did this? And wouldn't it be fun? Well, how about, oh, I know what we could do with that. You know, that's when I say, okay, squirrels, here's your 3 pages, have at it. And I just gone to autopilot and I brain dump my head out onto, which is the same purpose as morning pages. It's just that I do it to quieten my mind, and she does it to, you know, get your brain going, get rid of all the floss and start your brain, kind of reboot it. I do it to shut my brain down. You've been using the Moon Man pen. The ink reservoir holds ink for a very long time. Is that like a TWSBI? It's a body fill. I like the TWSBIs. I've got one. But the problem is that every time I try to carry it anywhere, it literally is a desk pen. Because if I try and put it in a case or anything, the end unscrews and then I end up with ink in the lid. So then when I unscrew the lid, I've got to pour out the ink and rinse the lid out every time I carry it. So I carry it on, it's on my desk. It's there in my pen pot. You like the Exceed journals. Those are the cheapy ones from Target, are they? That everybody's raving about. We've got a similar one at Asda that's basically 5 composition books all together, and it's really nice paper. Nothing bleeds on it. It's really, really cool. I decanted mine because, again, it was heavy and chunky, so I used the cover for my junk journal, and the inserts I just leave the book block on my desk. It's here. I just have the book block on my desk and I use it for a scribble pad. But actually the paper is really nice. I don't know if I've got the... Yeah, there's the... This is the paper that I was originally going to use. I was originally going to use this for my Animal Crossing journal. But then I decided I wanted to use the cover for something else. Because the cover on that one is hardcover. And I remembered I had this one, which is soft cover, which is easier to carry around. But yeah, all of these pen tests. That is a Lamy Extra Fine with platinum carbon ink, pressing down and writing slowly. Okay? And that is the only one that bled. And that is how much it bled. And that's it. Nothing else bled on this paper. It's fantastic. But I leave this on my desk, and as you can see, I use it for... I mean, this is good for junk journaling. I can always use this as a junk journal, bit of collage junk journal, but I also use it for writing notes or if I need to explain something on screen. Asda is not Michael's, Asda is Walmart. But it's handy to have a book block on the table because I'm always looking for a piece of paper and I don't want to use my notebook. You use that as your When Frogs Sing notebook. So the one over on Patreon. Yeah, it's cool. I'm thinking... Okay, how many weeks do we have in July? So we've got next week is the beginning. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 5 weeks in July, basically. We're going to be doing this through till the 2nd of August if we start on the 29th, which is what I usually do. I usually do the whole month plus whatever extra days. So 5 weeks. I could do 1 week doing a live stream of how I play Animal Crossing and how I use my journal while I'm playing. Which will be, you know, even for people who don't play Animal Crossing, it will be interesting to see how you integrate a journal into gaming. Because I'm sure when everybody thinks of gaming, they think of, you know, people sitting down in front of the Xbox or the TV or the PC or whatever with Cheetos and a big can of pop and not moving for 14 hours. Non-gamers tend to think of it as, why would you want to do that? That's crazy. But that's not how I play at all. So I think that would be interesting. But it's really only one session. Once I've showed you once, that's it. So maybe what I'll do, once I get... It's going to take me another couple of days to get Kyle over. Then I've got all the band and I've got to move their houses, which is kind of a... You just ask Tom Nook and then it happens the next day. Maybe either next week or the week after, I can use my journal to set up the arena. So for those of you who are interested in Animal Crossing, it'll be interesting to see how I'm setting stuff up and how I'm planning things. But for those of you who are not interested in Animal Crossing, it'll be interesting to see how I'm doing it in my journal and how I'm recording the process. And simultaneously working out what I as a gamer want to do, but doing it through the eyes of my character. Like I say, that's only one session, so I've then got other sessions I can do. So really, I can do that. I can do a Junk Journal July session. I can do a sketchbook session. And when I say a session, I mean I can do a flip of it so far. So I'll do a flip of my sketchbook and then do a sketchbook session. And then I could do a flip of my junk journal and then do a junk journal session using the Junk Journal July posts. And then by the end of the month... What's the 4th one I had? I can do my bullet journal, which hopefully will be in here. But the way I feel at the moment, it could be anywhere. But I can do my junk journal, which is my secondary project. And then the last week, I can just show you all of it together and update you on this and where I'm up to and what I'm going to do for the rest of the year, hopefully. How does that sound for everybody? I need to write this down. Okay, let's make a start. Let's make a start, shall we? Let's start as we mean to go on. So, I'm going to need to do a July calendar and astrology thing and all of that, and need to set up. So let's do One Book July here. So One Book July, I'm just going to scribble it. When I'm on screen, I just scribble it in pencil and then I'll go back and write it out properly. I kind of do shorthand. So week 1, Animal Crossing New Horizons journal. I want to set up like a band area for a live band and with a DJ and a dance floor and kind of like a festival campground type thing, maybe. Something like that. And I've got a little area to do it in. And in the meantime, I can be clearing trees and stuff. So let's call it the arena. I think I'm going to call it the arena. Because I've got a little area that I think it'll work well in. Oh, and I immediately had an idea. Hang on, I need to write this down somewhere else so you can't see it. Let me just write it on the back of here. Because I think visually I immediately had an idea of what I could do. But I don't want to spoiler it. So that would be week 1, and then week 2 I could do my sketchbook. So a sketchbook flip and a sketchbook session. I have been doing on and off a 100 challenge for that as well. I've been doing the Meds 100 Heads challenge, but I'm not really sticking to it that well. Perhaps I could get 30 of the heads done in July. Maybe that's something I could look into. So 100 heads, maybe. This isn't a chore in any way. When I game, I have this open in front of me and I just scribble into it, and then it's just a case of doing a couple of doodles, sticking a couple of stickers in and printing out a couple of pictures. And all the pictures I print out are sticky, so they're on sticky paper, so I just cut them out and stick them in, that's it, job done. 2 minutes with a pen. It's not a big job to do or anything like that, because I didn't want it to be. Sketchbook, could I aim for getting some heads done? For my 100 heads, that's possible. And then week 3, by then I'll have done quite a bit of Junk Journal July. We'll be halfway through, so you could see that and what I'm doing with that, and we could maybe do a Junk Journal session. Week 4, I could do my bullet journal, because you've seen where I'm up to with it at the moment, which is basically stalled. So I'm thinking maybe I need to follow Miss Vicky B and see what she's up to with her bullet journal, and maybe even go back and read the first chapter, the first practical chapter of the bullet journal method, or listen to the audiobook. I could listen to the audiobook because I can do that while I'm gaming. Or sketching, because I tend to do multiple things. Yeah, so by week 4, I should have an update on my bullet journal. And then week 5 will be an overview and the chunky thing. The chunky monkey. This is now the chunky monkey. This is what it is. This is the chunky monkey. Katie, remind me to give you my Pocket Camp and Animal Crossing main codes, so that anybody who wants to come and join our Discord or wants to get my friend code, if they don't want to come and join the Discord, can just email you and get the information or the link or whatever. Katie's already got all the information for the Discord, so if you want to join our Discord, you don't have to be playing Animal Crossing, okay? You just have to be a subscriber or a follower of me or Little Raven Inc. or one of our Patreons. You don't have to be both, either or just one of the people who hangs out here and happens to play Animal Crossing and wants some extra friends or some company while you're playing. Or just, you know, it's just a chat thing that you can hang out and chat and you can share stuff. And sometimes you might want to, we've had people wanting to send out like, oh, I've got a bag of scraps here. If anybody, here's a picture of it. If anybody wants it, I'll send it to you as a rack kind of thing, or doing swaps and stuff. And I have no problem with that because it's a private thing. You have to be vetted. Kate, you have to go through Katie or be specifically invited by me or Courtney. So it's a private thing. And we do have, for those of you who've got kids, we've got a mini channel as well where the kids can go. The under 16s can all go and, if they're playing Minecraft or Animal Crossing or whatever and just want to hang out and have some chat. I don't know if there's many kids using it at the moment. But they're completely secure in their own little area. Adults can't go in there unless they're a parent and they want to offer to be a moderator. You know, it's all, only me and Katie have access to it. Oh, and Mika, because she's our backup admin. But Mika's usually in the main chat. So yeah, if you want to do that, email RhomanysRealm@gmail.com, talk to Katie, and she'll sort you out. For those who are not familiar with what Discord is, it's basically a gamer's chat room, but it's for anything really. It's like MSN for a group of people. So if you're not on Facebook, that's why I set it up, because I don't use Facebook. I cannot stand Facebook. It gets me down just logging into it. I only use Facebook for my Urban Sketchers group. I don't even use it personally anymore. I don't even use my company page on it anymore. I hate Facebook. I hang out on Instagram. But if you want that kind of MSN chat kind of, you know, I'm going to be dropping into game for an hour, or I'm going to be sat here journaling for an hour, anybody want to join me? You get a message on your phone, you're like, oh, actually, I'm journaling now. Yeah, I'll come and hang with you. And you can chat to people, and there's video and audio and text chat and whatever you want to do. So it's cool. It's like Zoom, but casual. Really casual. Like anybody can drop in as long as you've been vetted, but it's a private channel, so it's only people we know. So please don't be offended if you email Katie and say, oh, I saw Ro talk about this on her channel, and she doesn't recognise you in any way, shape or form, even from just hanging out here. She may not recognise you. So don't be offended if she says, hang on a minute, let me double check that. And because I've told her that if anybody comes that she's not familiar with, or doesn't even at least recognise the name and hasn't seen them hanging around or whatever, then she needs to check it with me or Courtney first. Because we know pretty much everybody who hangs out. So if she's not sure who you are, or you go by another name, like there's a couple of people who use pseudonyms, and I know you know who you are. If you don't want to reveal your pseudonym to Katie, that's perfectly fine. But tell her that you use a pseudonym, and then message me to let me know that you've contacted Katie. So I can say, oh, that one's okay. Use a code word or something and say, I sent Katie a password bananas, you know. And then message me from your incognito place and say, I'm bananas. And then it's only me who knows. And I know who most people are anyway. It's been a long one today. We've done 3 hours today. Crikey. Wasn't intending it to be that long, but at least I got the One Book July intro out of the way first. So I can put that on the timestamp. And then anybody who's not interested in One Book July can just skip to the rest of it. Oh, so yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So week 1, we'll do how I play Animal Crossing using my journal. Emphasis on the journal. So don't think that just because you don't play Animal Crossing, it won't be of any interest to you. If you're a journaler, it will be. Week 2, I'll do a sketchbook flip, and I'll do some work on some more of my 100 heads. Let's see how many of those I can get done this month. I need something to focus on, you see. That's why I'm picking up a couple of projects. Junk Journal July. I love doing Junk Journal July, so I'm definitely doing that. that'll be week 3. I'll give you a flip through of what I've been doing. Week 4, hopefully by then I will have got back into the swing of my bullet journal and settled on staying in one place for more than a day. And I can walk you through that. And then week 5 we'll do, how's this going? And what's the update? We got a plan. We got a plan, Stan. It's not one book. Well, technically each thing is one book, but also it's not one book. But it's to get me out of having, like, I've got 3 different setups of this kind of thing, plus my big bullet journal from last year that I can use, plus a sketchbook, plus this, plus that. I've just expanded into all these different books while I've been at home because I haven't needed to carry any of them, so it doesn't really matter which one I use or how big it is or how heavy it is. And I know that eventually I'll go back into that little one when I can leave the house. But until then, I might as well play about, right? Because I don't need to carry anything further than the garden. So I might as well have a big chunky journal and go hell for leather. Oh, thanks for joining me, guys. It's been an adventure today, has it not? And by all means, if you have ideas, because I'm always up for an idea. Somebody mentioned maybe doing... I said maybe using these for covers to store old journals in, because the old 013s would fit in here really well, and then I could store them all, because I use... Somebody sent me 13 and I've already gone through 4 of them because I write a lot. So I could just use them as covers, but it kind of seems like a waste, especially when they're not things that I particularly... I'm not like, oh, I love this one, I must have this. I'm all of the patterns. See, I like that pattern, but I don't like that one. So I'm every one I'm a bit, well, I could use it, but why would I force myself to use it if I don't have to? See, I like this one. This one I really do like. I will probably keep that one. This one I also like, but not as much as that one, but I do like it. And this I could see myself using for putting little notes in or something like that. So maybe I'll keep those 2 and give that one to Courtney because it's bright pink and it's got love and hearts and glitter on it and she'll love that. And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 of which are bird themed. One is kind of urbanish. Well, I guess those 2 are patterned, and then this one's kind of floral. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. Let me know what you think, because I'm sure I should be able to do something with this. The spark's not there just yet. But, you know, Vicky sent them to me as a challenge. You know, she says in her note, it'd be fun to see what you managed to create with these. So obviously she's not bothered about what I do with them. So I think they're her. Are they? I don't know if she's still here. She might be teaching and listening on the side. I think they're just hers that she's made. I don't think they're from any shop or anything. There's no marker or anything on them. So I think they're just ones that she's made and laminated. And she's probably just got bored with them and decided, oh yeah, I'll send those to Rose, see what she can do with them. I kind of like that one. That pattern is drawing me in, but not enough to use it as a dashboard. So that might be one that I think I kind of use the pattern idea, but not the actual, not keep the dashboard myself. Yeah. Anyway, and obviously these I can just put in my, these little ones I can just put in my junk journal. These will go in my junk journal, that's fine. Yeah. If you have any ideas, let me know. Let me know what you come up with, because there's always somebody who comes up with a really fabulous idea. And I'm like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. So message me on Instagram if you think of something I could do with all those dashboards that Vicky sent me. And don't forget, of course, follow Carrie Harling Miss Vicky B, and Everyday Awesome TV. They're all on Instagram and YouTube. And we also have our One Book July channel, YouTube/One Book July. It's not uploaded videos, so don't bother adding notifications or anything like that. But it is all the playlists. And we break it down every year. So if you're looking for all of Carrie's playlists from 2013, you can go drill down and find that in Carrie's area 2013 and see what she did, okay? You don't have to watch absolutely everybody's in order to get to wherever it is. And it's also got all the community stuff. So, as always, use the hashtag OneBookJuly2020, one full word, 2020, just like I write it when I put it on my hashtags, and put that in the title of your video and or the tags of your video, and it will automatically, after 48 hours, it should automatically show up. And if it doesn't, just email Katie the link and she'll add it. But leave it 48 hours because YouTube is slow. It's hella slow right now. In fact, I would say leave it 3 days, not just 48 hours. Give it 3 days. So if you upload something on Monday and by Thursday it's still not in the lists, then email Katie and let her know. Just email her the link and let her know that it's a community BuJo. And if you're doing foreign language ones, Evelyn usually does a couple in Dutch. We've got a couple, I think Mix did one in Japanese one year. We've got a couple of people who do them in German. If you're doing a foreign language one, make sure that you send that either to me or to Katie or to, Carrie and Vicky have got access to the YouTube channel as well to put things on. But because we've got a dedicated foreign language section, obviously it's not split up by language, but you can skip through easily enough. There's not that many videos, and you can find, we've got one, I think we've got one in Italian, one in Spanish, Every year somebody does one in a new language that just explains the concept of One Book July for those who like to have the rules that we don't have nailed down in their own language. It's nice to have that, and I do appreciate the community that you do that for us, because we don't do it. But thank you for doing that. Okay, I really am going this time. That's it. I'm stopping. See you next week, guys. Have fun. One Book July, you can start on the 1st of July. If you want to start, if you are a Monday starter, you can start on the 29th of June. If you're a Sunday starter, you can start on the 28th of June. If you want to leave it until after the 4th of July, because it's a holiday and you're American and you want to start on the weekend after, that's fine. You can do 4 weeks, you can do 5 weeks, you can do a calendar month. Nobody cares, okay? Don't stress yourself out with that kind of rubbish. Just do it however you want. And have fun. If you're not having fun with One Book July, you're not doing it right. See you later. Bye.